for K13 Media's live coverage of the 2025 Native American Baseball Showcase. So glad to have you here on the broadcast on this beautiful Sunday afternoon, a hot and muggy Sunday afternoon here in Atlanta, but nonetheless a great day for some baseball as we give you the shots of the field here this afternoon. And it's not going to be too much longer. That field and that batter's box, it is all going to be full of some of the top baseball players in the country. As we welcome you inside the broadcast booth for the first time here today, I'm Chad Feltman. This is Bill Connolly, and we are so glad to have you here with us today for a very exciting invitational event at what I personally think is the greatest ballpark in all of the United States of America. Yes, I'm a little biased, but man, what a great place to be here today. And Bill, what a great day for baseball. The top 50 high school baseball players in the United States and Canada with Native American backgrounds are here today to showcase their skills and talents at the home of the Atlanta Braves.
Yeah, and the Braves have always reached out, and they are always looking for ways to increase the brand. And with that, Native American can't get any better than this. A lot of tribes very close to the southeast here are going to be represented today, and it's going to be a blue versus red opportunity here. Is our hometown team is welcoming them. Couldn't be prouder of the Atlanta Braves welcoming all of these tribes in here for this great day of baseball. And we're going to see a lot of great talent here, Chad. And a little bit different than what we're used to. We're seeing that, the normal 9 batters, we're going to expand that to 12 today, so we get to see a little bit more of the talent on showcase today. And so it's going to be a fun afternoon. I know you and I have been itching to do this for quite a while now, and I know these kids are equally as excited and ready to get started today.
Absolutely. Again, we've got right at 50 kids here today. I call them kids, man. These are young men who are here with us today. And they're excited. I mean, you talk about high school kids getting to play on the same field that in less than 25 days Major League All-Stars are going to be playing on. You want to talk about the thrill of a lifetime.
Yeah, you can't replace that. And, I mean, the idea of, you and I talked about this before, playing back in high school, to get this opportunity to play within a month of the best in all of the world, getting to play on this field at the All-Star game, and I get to play on that very same field just a month prior. There's nothing better than that. And these kids are so excited, and I'm excited for them to get this game underway.
Well, we are all thrilled and all honored to be here, to be a part of this game. And, of course, with K13 Media here today, and, of course, our association with our friends at JockJive Sports. Special thank you to Robert Williamson, who's here producing and directing today. To our right, that's Michael Penn. He is on the camera. And the 5th member of our broadcast team, he's down there somewhere today on that gorgeous field. We have Mr. Sky Gillespie, who is here with us today. And if we could find Sky out there down on the field somewhere. Sky is no stranger to the game of baseball. He is, of course, the play-by-play voice for the Macon Bacon baseball team. And we are zooming in on Sky. He is down just outside of the first base coach's box. There's the big wave. And Sky, I know it's a little warm down there, but welcome to Truist Park, and happy game day to you. Glad to have you here.
Hey, do you guys got me up there?
Oh, yeah, loud and clear, Sky.
Well, I'm glad to be here at Truist Park, and boy, you're right, it is a little toasty, but what I've seen so far in just my little time out here is that the focus is going to be on doing all the little things right. It's going to be on playing defense. I didn't see any errors during warm-ups. I saw guys when most guys were sitting around just messing around, hanging out with their other guys. They were working on little drills to work on their handwork, glove work. So expect defense to be a big part of this. And these boys on the blue side over here on the first base line, they're fired up. Over there, it's more of a even keel on the red side. So we'll see which team takes home the prize.
All right, you stay cool down there, Sky. We'll be checking with Sky throughout the afternoon here during the broadcast. But like he said, 2 totally different mentalities before we get this ball game started. And these players have been out here now for 2 days. Yesterday they had a full run-through, batting practice out here down on the field. So they've got enough practice. They're done. They're ready to play some ball now.
Well, and the thing about it is what you got to, as a coach, and I'm putting my coaching hat on just for a second here. If I'm telling these guys, the dimensions of the infield have not changed. They're the same as where they are at in their normal ballparks or whatever. The venue may be different, but the game has not changed. It's all about fundamentals. It's doing the little things. It's about, having quality at bats today. That's going to be the one thing I'm going to look for in a lot of these hitters here. These 8-pitch and more at bats. Those are quality at bats, regardless of the outcome of the at bat. If they can continue to do that, that'll calm a little bit of the nerves. And if you're a pitcher, you want to get ahead in the count. So today we're going to be looking for a lot of those things here from both sides, the hitters and the pitchers today.
Well, we're just about ready to get things going, so we're going to turn it over to our public address announcer and get you ready for today's starting lineups and national anthem as we are live from Truist Park for the 2025 Native American All-Star Showcase.
Up first, the red team, which will be the away team. Coaching staff, Doug Marion, Ray Moore Jr., Josh Standing Up, Taryn Thrash, Mike Stoop, Johnny Estrada, Pete Smith, Jerome Walton, Tavarius Rilla, Isaac Hayes, and Julio Franco. And now the players. Number 10, Pierce Caton. Number 31, Krista Cheek. Number 18, Cashin Cliff. Number 8, Maxim Dillon. Number 13, Tatum Vine. Number 19, Adrian Garrison. Number 9, Sanjia Hickman. Number 7, Lucas Johan. Number 12, Dakota Jones. Number 4, Eric Jesus. Number 20, Boston Knowles. Number 14, Cash Knowles. Number 16, Jordan Leslie. Number 5, Nikki Navarro. Number 11, Kenya Rain. Number 15, Devontae Ross. Number 1, Florentino Salinas. Number 30, Noah Sandoval. Number 6, Bass Stice. Number 37, Cade Stick. Number 17, Todd Cotton. Number 29, Isaac Sonatoko. Number 3, Paige Sosi. And number 21, Christian Ucalde. And now the home team, which is the blue team. Coaches, Derek Billy, Mike Day, Adam Gray, Brad Hall, Eric Kirkpatrick, Ron Papa Jackson, Terry Harper, Nico Goodrow, and Mike Mosley. And now, go blue team on the lineup. Number 6, Ethan Abram. Number 9, Brayton Allen. Number 18, Elijah Beck. Number 15, Aiden Chapman. Number 19, Nicholas Cody. Number 11, Colin Davis. Number 20, Ty Freeman. Herring. Number 7, Ronald Jones III. Number 17. Number 10, Wesley Jumper. Number 16, Rajon Kitten. Number 37, Manuel Machado III. Number 7, Gavin Lane. Number 5, Eddie Lucero. Number 4, Joshua Mescal. Number 21, Jace Hall. Number 22, Bryce Roberts. Number 13, Peyton Creek. Number 14, Tayson Creek. Number 8, Max Williams. And number 29, Matthew Wise. And number 38, Kenyon Wright. Ladies and gentlemen, at this time, gentlemen, please remove your caps. Everyone, please rise for the playing of our national anthem.
And just like that, we are ready for baseball here today in Atlanta. Once again, we welcome you to K13 Media's live coverage of the 2025 Native American All-Star Showcase, live today at Truist Park. Coaches are meeting at home plate with the umpires and swapping lineup cards you can see on your screen. And I think it's time right now that Bill and I bring you today's starting lineups. Again, it's going to be the home team in blue. They're listed as blue, but they're actually going to be in the white jerseys and white pants here today. The visitors will be in the red this afternoon. So let's tell you first, defensively, how the blue team is going to come out here today. We will get that graphic up on your screen and let you know here is how the blue team will line up defensively. In left field, it's going to be number 14, Tayton Threet. Avon Goodland is in center. Eddie Lucero is in right. Across the infield at third is going to be Max Williams. Ronald Jones III is at shortstop. Rajon Kitten is at second base. Kenyon Wright is at first base. Behind the plate is number 18, Elijah Beck. And on the mound today pitching is going to be number 20, Ty Freeman out of Cameron High School. And we've got some interesting notes and bios about every player here today. And the funny thing here for Ty Freeman, his one line on his bio, it says, "I'm a lefty." And that's all you need to know. So that's what we're going to see. But I don't see a lefty out there throwing unless they're going to change it up on us.
22 is who they're throwing at us here right out of the gate.
Okay, so a change just like that. They're going to go with Bryce Roberts. Well, it wouldn't be a typical day without a change that quick, so I guess they're going to save for later on Freeman.
Freeman's day-to-day, as we all are.
Yes, absolutely. Good call. So let's give you what you need to know here on Bryce Roberts. Again, he's going to wear number 22. And for Bryce, he is out of Idabel, Oklahoma. and he will be doing the starting pitching here today, again, for the blue team. Let's tell you how the red team will come to the plate today. It's going to be the right fielder, Boss Stice, followed by the shortstop, Pierce Caton. And then the pitcher today, Isaac Suntakoy, will bat third. Devontae Ross, the left fielder, will bat fourth. Boston Knowles, the second baseman, will bat fifth. Taj Toten will play third and bat sixth. Tristan Cheek will play center and bat seventh. Christian Ugaldi will catch and bat eighth. Cade Stick will play first and bat ninth. And one interesting thing about today's game, all 12 players in the lineup will come to bat. So we gave you 1 through 9. The rest, 10, 11, and 12, it'll be Cash Knowles, Sanjay Hickman, and Wakia Rains, all three listed as designated hitters here today, Bill.
Yeah, it's one of those things you want to highlight as many as you can, and that's what they're going to do. And already ready to go in the batter's box, striding to the batter's box, rather, Boss Stice is already digging in the left field batter's box, and given the handshake, good sportsmanship, as we got a 3-man umpiring crew ready to go as well. So it looks like Bryce Roberts, Chad, is ready to get this work underway today. And first pitch, can't believe we're already here.
It is. We are ready to play ball. And Atlanta, and the first pitch is taken downstairs for ball one. Once again, it is Bryce Roberts, number 22, the righty, working out of the windup. And here's his 1-0. And that was going to miss a little downstairs, and quickly it's going to be 2 balls and no strikes. Again, it is Boss Stice, the right fielder for the red team, leading things off here in the top of inning number 1. He will play right field, wearing number 6. And right now he's ahead in the count 2-0, as this one is a little downstairs, and now it's 3 balls and no strikes for Boss Stice. Says he wants to be the first person to play college baseball in his family.
Yeah, I think he's had a couple of looks from a couple of different colleges here as he goes 4 straight on the walk to begin this game. And Chad, already you can see maybe the nerves of Truist already showing themselves. Bryce Roberts will right now just needs to focus on the mitt and get the first strike, and Pierce Caton.
Maybe he just wanted to work out of the stretch. First pitch on the way. This was going to get away from the catcher, Elijah Beck. And that is going to allow Stice to get down to second with no throw. So a tough start on the mound early on here for Bryce Roberts. 5 pitches, and all 5 so far have been balls. And now you've got a runner in scoring position in Stice. Just underway, top of the first here at Truist Park. 88 degrees here on a Sunday afternoon. 2025 Native American All-Star Showcase. As now Roberts will step off and chase Stice back to second base. A 1-0 count here on Pierce Caton, shortstop for the red team, batting second. And the 1-0 on the way, high and tight, and there's ball 2. So 6 straight to start the ball game here for Bryce Roberts. Again, Pierce Caton wearing number 10.
Good to see former Brave Julio Franco down there giving some instruction to the red team as well. You seeing that? He's talking about getting for the runners, getting a lead. One thing that he liked to do during his playing time.
2-1 count. Here's the pitch. That one is high and tight, and it's 3-1. Yeah, not just Julio Franco who's down there, but also in the third base coaching box for the red team. 2004 All-Star catcher for the Atlanta Braves, Johnny Estrada, is here helping out as well. 3-1 is foul tipped off the glove, and that's going to run the count full and 3 balls and 2 strikes. Again, just an amazing opportunity for everybody involved. All these kids, they were actually here. They've been here since Thursday. Before Thursday night's Braves game against the Mets, they were all honored in a pregame ceremony as the 3-2 comes high and tight, and I think that actually hit the batter as Stice was taken off to try to steal third. The 3-2 pitch runs high and tight on Caton, and now he will go down to first base. So a leadoff walk, and now a hit batter. And it's going to put runners on first and second. Nobody out. And it'll bring up the red team starting pitcher. This is Isaac Suntakoy.
Yeah, interesting. Stice had a really good jump, Chad, and he would have been at third base easily had the ball not hit Caton, but it did, so he has to return back to second base. And so now runners at first and second for Suntacoy.
And here's the first pitch to him, like a fastball, in for a strike, and it's 0-1. That's the first called strike thrown today by Bryce Roberts. Top of the first inning, runners on first and second, nobody out. Roberts out of the stretch, and here's the 0-1. This one hops the plate. It stops in front of Beck, and then it'll trickle toward the third base line, so both runners will advance 90 feet. And now 2 runners in scoring position here for Suntacoy, who is going to be the starting pitcher for the red team here today. Number 29 out of, says he's being looked at by Seminole State College. Here's the pitch upstairs, and it's 2-1. We say the starting pitcher. That's at least what's listed on our lineup sheet. So
that's what we show. And now you talk about the often talked about a pitcher with a chance to help himself out. And now with 2 runners on, and I think now the pitching coach is coming out there. Maybe this is to calm the nerves or get the catcher and pitcher on the same page with what they're calling right now.
Again, a hot day here in Atlanta. Sunday afternoon, Truist Park, home of the Braves. 400 from home plate to straightaway center is 335 down the left field line, 325 down the right field line where the chop house is. And the power alleys here today, 385 to left center, 375 to right center. And then a huge brick wall from the right field line all the way toward right center field. 2 balls and a strike. Runners on second and third. Nobody out, top of the first inning. And now Roberts will go back to the wind. Swing and a miss. Was able to bring one upstairs, and that's going to even the count 2-2 at Isaac Suntacoy, who, like Bill just said, a chance to help his own cause here, pitching today for the red team. Here comes the 2-2. Fouled off over in front of that third base dugout. And it's going to keep the count even. 2 balls and 2 strikes with the left fielder, Devontae Ross, in the on-deck circle.
You see with Roberts, a couple of his fastballs have kind of gotten up in the zone. Sometimes that's just trying to overthrow the ball just a hair. And now they start calming down a little bit. Maybe that'll help him a little bit. And maybe it may have been what the pitching coach was coming out to talk to him. It's like, hey, don't overthrow the baseball. Just come out there and do what you normally do.
This time with that one, and another full count. 3-2. Here's the payoff. Upstairs, and there's ball 4, and that will load the bases. So a walk, a hit batter, and another walk. And that will put a runner for the red team on every base as it brings up the left fielder, Devontae Ross. He'll come to the plate. Nobody out, bases loaded. Wearing number 15 for the red team. Another lefty up here. First pitch on the way to him. It's high and outside. And there's ball 1 to Devontae Ross.
Chad, interesting about Devontae with his family. A lot of sacrifices. They live in Wounded Knee, South Dakota, and travel all the way to Chadron, Nebraska each day, an hour one way just for him to play. So a lot of commitment for the family, and so he wanted to give a shout-out to his family for what they do for him.
He just roped one foul down the right field line, just missed what probably would have been a bases-clearing double. 1-1 count. Here's the pitch. Outside. It's going to get to the backstop, and now will play at the plate, and tag is going to be applied, and the catcher, Elijah Beck, will record the first out of the inning as that ball hit off the brick backstop and ricocheted all the way back toward home plate. And they're able to tag Ball Stice out. So there's out number 1 after a wild pitch. And that is kind of one of the luxuries about playing at Truist Park. If you're a catcher, you do have the brick backstop.
Absolutely.
So that will put runners now on second and third. A swing and a miss. Well, leaving the count at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Boy, if there is a way that Roberts can get out of this inning after having bases loaded, nobody out, that would be incredible for the pitcher for the blue team. Here's the 2-2. Missed outside, and the count's full again. Third straight batter that Bryce Roberts has run the count full. 3 balls and 2 strikes. 1 down, top of the first, just underway.
Infield is back, willing to concede the first run should they get a ground ball, but it's ball 4, and Ross has walked as well. So now the bases will be loaded, Chad. So interesting to see what defensive changes they make with the bases loaded. Again, Roberts is trying to get out of this, and let's see what happens.
I mean, he is certainly playing with fire. 3 walks and a hit batter, but still has not given up a run. As it'll bring Boston Knowles, the second baseman, up. First pitch on the way. He is upstairs, missing high once again. And it's going to be a 1-0 count.
A lot of times you see with the high, throwing high, like what we talked about already, Chad, is maybe trying to overthrow the ball a little bit.
Here's the 1-0. Low and in the dirt, and it's 2-0. A runner on every base for the red team. Top of the first inning. 1 down, no score. Bryce Roberts trying to get out of the jam. He's got a 2-0 count. And make it 3-0 as that one misses low and in. Well, now, if you're Boston Knowles, there's no way you can swing here, right? Pitcher struggling, 3-0 count. Trying to get the first run of the ball game. Let's see if he's get a green light or not. Here's the 3-0. He did not have a green light, and is taken for a strike. It's 3-1.
He might have a green light now, Chad, with 1 strike on him. 3-1 the count here.
Bases loaded for the red team. Roberts out of the wind with a 3-1, and he did have a green light, found back to the net. And another full count. That's now 4 in a row. 3 walks and a hit batter. Boston Knowles batting 5th in the order here today for the red team. Another payoff. The 3-2, here it is. This one's popped up. Infield fly rule is going to be in effect as this one is over towards second base, and it is going to be caught right at the edge of the grass by Rajon Kenton. And that'll be the second out of the inning. And now Roberts is just 1 out away from getting out of this. And have you ever heard of 3 walks and a hit batter to the first 4 batters, and you still haven't given up a run?
If he does, he needs to thank his lucky stars for that. But, yeah, like you said, immediately as soon as that was hit, the umpire raised a hand with the finger pointed in the air, indicating the infield fly, and that one's sent on a rope, Chad, to center field.
Yep, and that's where Avon Goodland has it played. A line drive shot off the bat of Taj Toten. And somehow, some way, Bryce Roberts gets out of the first inning without giving up a single run. 3 walks, a hit batter, but he comes away unscathed as that takes us to the bottom of inning number 1. No score here in Atlanta. Red team and blue team representing the 2025 Native American All-Star Showcase. And while we have a moment, let's go ahead and give you the starting lineups now. We'll go defensively for the red team here today. We'll get those names popping up on your screen and let you know where the red team is starting this afternoon. There they are. In left field today, it's going to be Devontae Ross. Tristan Cheek will start in center. Boss Stice will be in right field today. Across the infield, Taj Toten at third. Pierce Caton is at short. Boston Knowles is at second today. Cade Stick is over at first. Behind the plate is Christian Ugalde. And again, doing the pitching today, number 29, that is Isaac Santacoy. So those are your defensive 9 here today for the red team. Now let's give you the batting order. For the blue team, they'll come to the plate today. It's going to be the left fielder. That'll be Tatum Threet. He'll lead things off, followed by the center fielder, Avon Goodland. Ronald Jones III, the shortstop, will bat third today. Canyon Wright, first baseman, will bat cleanup. Elijah Beck, the catcher, will bat fifth. And it should be in the number 6 spot, I would imagine, Bryce Roberts. That's where Ty Freeman was listed, but he was also listed as the starting pitcher, so we'll clarify that in the number 6 hole. Third baseman Max Williams will bat 7th. Rajon Kenton, the second baseman, will bat 8th. And then a DH, batting 9th, Wesley Jumper. Another DH, batting 10th, Manuel Lachapa. Another DH, Easton Hancock, will bat 11th. And the right fielder will be number 9, Eddie Lucero. Again, all 12 in the lineup will get a chance to bat before we roll back over to the top of the order. Nothing ball game. We're going to the bottom of inning number 1 on a sun-drenched Sunday afternoon here in Atlanta, Georgia for the 2025 Native American All-Star Showcase. Once again, alongside of Bill Connolly, I'm Chad Feltman. On the camera work for us today, Michael Penn, representing JockJive Sports, producing and directing and engineering today, Mr. Robert Williamson. And down on the field, once again, is Sky Gillespie. And I believe we got a good shot of Sky right down the third base line near the on-deck circle. Sky, what you got?
Well, we talked about this is their first time ever playing at Truist Park, and I think a big part of what we saw in that first half inning from Roberts on the pitching mound, this is probably the tallest hill he's ever thrown on, and that's why you're seeing a lot of the balls up in the zone. Usually pitchers you try to work down, But it's a little difficult when you're working on such a large hill like here at Truist. So it's a lot of getting used to, and he obviously settled down eventually.
Hey, Sky, what was the fever like there for the blue team getting out of that inning without giving up a run? Were they pretty excited coming off the field there?
They sure are. This team has been the team that's been fired up the whole time, like I alluded to in the pregame. But, yeah, they're still keeping up that energy, and we'll see if it shows on the offensive end as well.
All right, here we go, Sky.
Bottom of the first inning. Again, it's Tatum Threet leading it off for the blue team, and he swings through a first pitch strike. And it's 0-1 again facing the pitcher today. This is Isaac Suntacoy, the lefty. Here's the 0-1. Upstairs, it's going to bring the count to a ball and a strike. Tatum Threet wearing number 14 here today for the blue team. Again, they're listed as the blue team, but, man, they should have got a lot of white on. Here's the 1-1. Swing and a miss. Foul tipped into the mitt. And it's a ball and 2 strikes. Again, Tatum Threet, followed by the center fielder Avon Goodland and Ronald Jones III. First 3 due up. 1-2 count. Suntacoy is ready, and here's the pitch. And that one looked like it may have been fouled off the mitt. And the count's going to stay at a ball and 2 strikes.
Yeah, I think he got just a piece of that one there. Then we'll do it again. Here, 1-2.
Nobody on, nobody out. Bottom of the first inning. A 1-2 count. 2-3. And this one is rope foul down the third base line right off the netting. Something you very, very rarely hear at Truist Park is the ping of a metal bat.
Yes.
It does not happen often.
Yeah, we're used to the wooden bats here. But today, the aluminum.
Here's another 1-2. And again, foul down the third base line. It was pretty cool. Earlier this year, I had a chance to get here for the Georgia Tech game. And you want to talk about some bombs that were hit at this place with those bats.
Oh, yeah.
That was a fun night of baseball here in Atlanta.
Well, you're absolutely right, and it's interesting, and it's good to see the Native American high school prospects getting this opportunity here at Truist Park. Even in the Georgia High School Association, the state championship games are played in Gwinnett at Stripers Field at Cool Ray Park. So today, getting to play here at Truist Park, how cool is this?
Tatum Threet is at the plate. Spelling Bee champ 2 years in a row, to his credit. Here's the pitch upstairs, and it's going to run the count full. 3 balls and 2 strikes. 2-time Spelling Bee champ who loves to fish as much as possible. Be a good day to be out doing some fishing today.
Absolutely.
Payoff pitch, 3-2, and there's strike 3. Rung him up, inside corner. And Suntacoy has his first strikeout of the ball game as Tatum Threet will go down looking for the first out here in the bottom of inning number 1.
We call that the backwards K in the book there, Chad.
Right at the knees. Good pitch, a lot of bite on that one. And Suntacoy has his first strikeout as it'll bring up the center fielder Avon Goodland. 1 out, nobody on. First pitch, a little upstairs, and there's ball 1.
Goodland did a good job in that third out, moving to his left.
Yep.
And made a good put out there at the top of the first inning. Now let's see what he can do with the bat as he takes that one in there for a strike.
Even to count at 1 ball and 1 strike. Number 12, Avon Goodland. Here comes the 1-1. Upstairs, and it's 2-1. Avon Goodland loves to go hunting in the winter with his cousins. He's ahead here, 2 balls, 1 strike, nobody on, 1 out, bottom of the first. Suntacoy, the lefty, is ready, and here's the pitch. Took a lot off of that one. And Goodland swung right through it. And yeah, he's even the count at 2-2.
He showcased the fastball early, and then now he's starting to work the changeup in. So we'll see if he continues with that. I like Suntacoy how he's going after these hitters right now as he comes back with a strike and gets another strikeout, Chad.
Yeah, blew that one away with a fastball. Goodland was late, and it's back-to-back strikeouts here for Isaac Suntacoy. As you can see here on your replay, I mean, he just reared back, belt high, good fastball, and he's quickly got 2 outs. As the shortstop, Ronald Jones III will dig in. First pitch, swing and a miss as it likes Suntacoy again with a good breaking ball on the inside corner. as Ronald Jones III is at the plate.
So Jones has an interesting thing that he likes to do. And for a high school baseball player, I don't know that I've ever heard of this there, Chad. He likes to buy and trade stocks.
That's a lot different than fishing and deer hunting for a high school baseball player. 0-2 count. Nobody on, 2 outs. Suntakoi trying to strike out the side. Here's the 0-2, and he came inside and just about hit Jones. Held on to that one a little too long, and there's ball 1. Yeah, trading stocks in high school, that was definitely something that I can say I was not good at.
Well,
it just wasn't my thing. But,
no.
man, for Jones, that's a pretty good future to have. 1-2, here it comes upstairs. And he was the count of 2 balls and 2 strikes. The first baseman, Kenyon Wright, is in the on-deck circle. There's a good look at Jones at the plate for the blue team. No score, bottom of the first. Nobody on. Suntakoi trying to strike out the side. He's going to work out of the wind over toward the left side of the rubber. He'll kick and fire the 2-2. Fastball high and outside, and it runs the count full at 3-2.
He's done a good job of getting ahead in the count and then trying to get him to chase. And so we'll see what he does with his payoff pitch right here. Suntakoi is certainly been in command so far.
3-2, and he stays in command. Blows another fastball right by Ronald Jones III. And how about that first inning for Isaac Suntakoi? 1-2-3. He strikes out the side. And we'll go to the top of inning number 2. Another good look here. Looked like this one was going to be high and away and caught that outside corner. And Suntakoi does his job. 3 up, 3 down. And we'll move to the top of inning number 2 with no score here in Atlanta. Good time to welcome you back inside the broadcast booth here today. High atop Truist Park, I'm Chad Feltman. This is Bill Connolly. We are joining you live today for the 2025 Native American All-Star Showcase this afternoon. And here in just a few moments, we should have a few special guests coming and joining us up here in the broadcast booth. Tell you more about these players and about their trip here. But again, Bill, they've been here since Thursday night.
Yep.
Right before the Mets game, they were lined up down the third base line, getting recognized by the PA announcer here at Truist Park in front of a sold-out crowd. So I'm sure they've had a pretty good time here in Atlanta. It's not just been about today. They've been here for a few days now.
It's certainly an all-star week for them, and today is just capping off just a week of, for them, a lifelong dream of getting to play this. And for them, couldn't be happier for them. They've worked hard to get to this point, and a lot of family have sacrificed a lot for them. And it's interesting when you're looking at the bios for these kids. So many of them, want to talk about their family,
yeah.
And that's really with the Native American culture. It's such a huge deal for them, and so it's good to see them. And you've seen the influence in talking with these kids, just how much family means to them.
We're going to the top of inning number 2. And we're going to have a new pitcher into the ball game for the blue team. Number 21, Jace Paul, has come in now to take over pitching duties. And probably something, Bill, you and I are going to have to keep up with a lot here today. I'm sure we're going to have quite a few pitchers throughout the ball game. Top of the second, no score. And again, it's number 21, Jace Paul, the righty, who will spike one in the dirt on his first pitch to the plate. It's 1-0. And here in the top of the second inning, it's going to be the center fielder, Tristan Cheek, who's leading it off. Here's the 1-0. Low and inside, and now it's 2-0. Tristan Cheek, Christian Ugaldi, and Cade Stick will be the first 3 due up. It's the traditional bottom third of the order. 7, 8, 9, but again, all 12 in each lineups will bat today.
Yeah, what do you call the 10, 11, and 12?
This will be the 3/4 mark of the order right here.
Oh, there we go. Okay.
I paid attention a little bit in class back in the day. 3-0 count. Again, Jace Paul is pitching, number 21. He'll fire and miss downstairs for ball 4. So just like Bryce Roberts did in the top of the first, Jace Paul gives up a 4-pitch walk to Tristan Cheek. So that is already the 4th walk issued by the white team pitching. And now to bring up the catcher, Christian Ugaldi. First pitch on the way to Ugaldi is in tight for ball 1. Ugaldi doing the catching here today. for the red team. And he is wearing number 21. Here's the 1-0. That one's low and outside, and it's 2-0. Runner takes off for second, and a headfirst dive in there safely is going to be Tristan Cheek, who has the first stolen base of the ball game. And now he is in scoring position here at the top of the second inning.
Good throw by Elijah Beck. Made that a lot closer than we initially thought it would be there, Chad. And so
here's the 2-0, missed outside, and it's 3-0. I mean, it's deja vu here at the top of the second, just like it was in the top of the first. 7 straight balls issued now by Jace Paul. 3-0 count, runner at second, nobody out. He'll stay in the stretch, and here's the pitch. And there's ball 4. 8 straight. And that will send Ugalde down to first base. So, struggling a bit here, the white team pitching. 8 straight balls issued by Paul, and that's going to put runners on first and second.
And you wonder if what Sky was alluded to earlier about the height of the mound, you wonder if that is playing a factor. Something tells me that with a lot of the blue teams so far with these two pitchers, that they're maybe used to a little lower of a mound than what they are having today. So
Cade Stick is coming to the plate. He'll wear number 37. He's starting first baseman for the red team. Says his grandfather is one of only 30 fluent Chickasaw language speakers left, and that's it. Pretty cool stat here about Cade Stick. He's at the plate and nobody out. Runners on first and second in the top of the second. There's the pitch from Paul, and that one's off the glove of the catcher Beck, and it's going to get to the backstop. And that will allow runners to advance 90 feet. So a pass ball, another ball thrown by the pitcher Jace Paul. That's now 9 in a row. And I can't imagine what these young men are going through. I mean, it's Truist Park, home of the Braves. Huge spotlight for them. I mean, I'm sure nerves have just got to be crazy right now.
Well, and you're playing in front of mom and dad and the rest of the family who was able to travel with them. And, yeah, like you say, things are a lot farther away than what you're normally used to at a, at your hometown baseball team. Swung and a miss there by Stick, and Chad makes it 2-1, and we looks like we have activity in the bullpen. I'll try to see if I can get the binoculars to find out who we got going in there for the blue team. Looks like number 2, Chad. That would be Easton Hancock warming up in the bullpen. So
3-1 count. There to Cade Stick. Facing Jace Paul, the 3-1. This one is hit down the right field line and going to get out of play. And that will run the count full at 3 balls and 2 strikes. Runners on second and third here in the top of the second inning. Still nobody out. Cade Stick, the number 9 spot in the lineup with a full count. Here's the stretch in the pitch, and this one's fouled off at the plate. Stick just did get a piece of that one. And he'll hang in there and stay alive with Cash Knowles, one of the designated hitters. And the on-deck circle, again, this is the number 9 hole in the batting order, but all 12 in the lineup will bat before we go back to the top of the order. The 3-2. Strike 3 call. Outside corner. And there's the first out of the inning. Cade Stick will go down looking. And that'll be the first out here in the top of inning number 2. Boy, that one looked like it was a little off the plate. Let's check the replay.
Might have been. Yeah, look at that. He's going to say is on the black, but oof.
That was close. Could have went either way, and it goes into the favor of Paul, and he needed it. So 1 down, runners on second and third, and it'll bring up Cash Knowles. And he just about wore that one. Was quick to get out of the way, and it's ball 1. Normally when a pitcher's struggling like that, you don't get those friendly calls on the corners, but Paul certainly got one there. 1 down, runners on second and third. Here's the 1-0, high and outside, and it's 2-0. Cash Knowles is the batter. He is batting 10th in the lineup. No score. We're in the top of inning number 2, but the red team again threatening. They had bases loaded, nobody out in the top of the first, but could not score. Here comes the 2-0 from Paul. And there's ball 3. Sanjay Hickman is in the on-deck circle. Second different pitcher of the ball game for the blue team. A 3-0 count. Here's the stretch and the pitch from Paul. There's a strike on the outside corner, and it brings the count to 3-1. 3 balls, 1 strike, 1 out. Runners on second and third in the top of the second inning. Paul out of the stretch with a 3-1, and it's high and tight. And there's ball 4 once again. That will load the bases for the red team. And it will bring up the DH, Sanjay Hickman. So Hickman will come up batting 11th in the order. Bases loaded, 1 down. A right-handed batter here at the plate facing the righty in Paul. First pitch on the way. High and tight, brushed him back, and there's ball 1. Well, this was the same situation in the first inning. Red team had bases loaded, but got thrown out trying to score from third on a wild pitch. Then a line out and a fly out. 1-0 catches the outside corner, evens the count at a ball and a strike.
Yeah, what did Yogi Berra say? Deja vu all over again?
1-1 here.
One of his many quotes.
Here's the pitch, swing and a miss. Hickman was way out in front of that one. And it's 1-2. At some point, you're just waiting on this red team to just bust one open.
Yeah.
A ball and 2 strikes. Here it comes. And that might just be it. A soft looper into left center field will bring 1 run in to score. It's going to be misplayed in center off the glove of Goodland, and that will allow a second run to come in and score. So it's Sanjay Hickman who's going to get credit with an RBI single. He'll take second on the error in center. And that'll be the first run of the ball game.
Yeah, his teammates call him Big O, and he came up big in that one, Chad. So 2-0 so far by the red team.
A single to left center brings in a run. And then the bobble by Goodland allows a second run to come in, and it's 2-0. First pitch in for a strike here to Wakia Raines, batting at the very, very bottom of the order, number 12.
So I got to talk with Raines earlier today in the dugout, and one of the things is interesting. He's a coffee maker at his mom's shop in Cherokee, North Carolina, and I have visited that place probably a dozen times when I frequent there, and so he said, yeah, I've probably waited on you.
1-1 count. Here's the pitch. This one is hit off the end of the bat out towards straightaway left field. Let's see if it's deep enough for the runner to tag. The catch is going to be made, but the runners will hold as Tayton 3 puts it away in left field for out number 2. Raines hit that one right off the end of the bat, and that'll bring up top of the order. It should be Boss Stice, but it's going to bring up Pierce Caton. Well, they said things could be different here today, so let's see where Caton, what he can do here. 2 outs, runners on second and third. He'll take a first pitch strike on the outside corner. 2-0 ball game. Red team on top. Top of the second inning. 2 outs, runners on second and third. Paul's ready with the 0-1. That one's in the dirt, and a good stop behind the plate by the catcher, Elijah Beck. Keeps the runners put at second and third. RBI single by Sanjay Hickman as the red team on the board. Here comes the 1-1. And that one just hit Caton in the back. That is the second batter hit today by the blue team. And that will load the bases once again. That, as a matter of fact, the second time that Caton has been hit by a pitch.
Yeah, he definitely has the magnet on him, and that rides right in there and right between the 1 and the 0, and that's smart. And that'll bring up now Isaac Suntacoy.
The pitcher with a chance here to really help his cause. He struck out the side on the mound in the bottom of the first inning.
I'm about to say he helped himself out on the mound, no doubt.
0-1 count to Suntacoy, 2 outs, bases loaded. And here's the pitch, swinging and a miss. And that should bring the count to 1-1. Good pitch there from Paul. That one had a lot of movement on it. Came back inside on Suntakoi. Here's the 1-1. This one is hit off the handle of the bat down toward the third base line and foul. Bring the count to 1-2. 2-0 red team. Top of the second. Bases loaded with 2 outs. Their starting pitcher, Isaac Suntakoi, is at the plate. Paul's ready. The 1-2. He came in tight. Then there's ball 2. Again, Suntakoi struck out the side in the bottom of the first inning. Choked up on the bat, right over the top of the plate. And here comes the 2-2. That one misses high and outside, and it's 3-2. Nowhere to put him.
Yeah, Paul wants another baseball. He didn't like the way that one felt in his hand, and so...
Blue team has already issued 6 walks in 2 innings. They've hit 2 batters as well.
And only down 2-0.
Yeah.
That to me is amazing.
3-2, and there's walk number 7. Bases are loaded, and that's going to let a run come in and score. Or, well, now the umpire is going to call him out. It was a 3-2 count. It should have been ball 4 with the bases loaded.
Well, no, I think they're going to say he went on his check swing.
Well, even if it was a check swing, that should have been...
That would have been out number 3 for strike 3. And so I think that's what they're going to call the strikeout.
So the out at third didn't matter.
That's it. Yeah, right.
Okay, so a strikeout. Everybody in the whole ballpark was confused. Let's check a look again on the replay here. Suntakoi at the plate. Well, there was no check swing, so it should have been ball 4 with the bases loaded.
So I'm not understanding.
After the top half of the second, 2 runs.
All right, well, 2 runs come in to score. Sanjay Hickman with an RBI single, able to bring a run in, and it puts the red team on top 2-0 as we go to the bottom of inning number 2. And we'll also have a new pitcher coming out here for the red team as well, as Isaac Suntakoi is going to be done for the day after striking out the side. In the bottom of the first inning, we'll get a new pitcher coming in here for the red team. It looks like we're going to have number 16 coming out for the red team in the bottom of inning number 2, and that should be Jordan Leslie. He'll be coming into the ball game here. So after seeing a lefty in the bottom of the first, the blue team will now see the righty in Leslie here in the bottom of inning number 2. Glad to have you on the broadcast today. We are live from Truist Park in Atlanta. 2025 Native American All-Star Showcase. Right now, the red team is on top by a score of 2-0. And again, it was all off the bat of Sanjay Hickman, who had a soft liner in the left center field that brought a run in. Ball was kicked around a little bit by Avon Goodland. The error allowed another run to come in and score. And just to be perfectly honest, Bill, for the blue team to only be down 2-0 after 6 walks, 2 hit batters, I mean,
they ought to be happy.
Very happy.
Yeah.
And still got a break there somehow with the bases loaded walk that ended up being out 3.
Yeah, I still don't. Yeah, I still don't have my head wrapped around that, Chad. But you know what? We're in the bottom of the second inning either way, and that's going to bring up Kenyon Wright.
So Leslie will be the new pitcher.
Number 38, Kenyon Wright.
And it'll bring up the first baseman, Kenyon Wright. Again, the blue team went down in order in the bottom of the first inning after Suntakoi struck out the side. So Kenyon Wright, the catcher, Elijah Beck will be the first 2 due up. And then we'll see who's going to bat here. It looks like we have another defensive change coming in.
Yeah, I was just looking at center field, it looks like.
And it's hard to see because there's only numbers on the back of these jerseys. So we'll try to tell you who's coming in center second we get a chance. But Leslie is ready. First pitch on the way from Leslie is in there for a strike on the inside corner, and it's 0-1 to Kenyon Wright. Again, number 16 for the red team, Jordan Leslie, is ahead in the count now, 0-2 out of Tucson Magnet High School in Tucson, Arizona. He's ahead in the count here, 0-2. He'll work out of the stretch. Nobody on, nobody out. Bottom of the second inning. And there's a foul ball down the third base line off the bat of Kenyon Wright. Kenyon Wright wearing number 38 here today for the blue team. Playing first base. Broke the all-time home run record along with the all-time RBI record for his high school. Here's the 0-2, and he'll send this one deep down the left field line. Will it stay fair? No. It'll get over into the bleachers. Yeah, the count's going to remain 0-2. Not only broke the all-time home run record and RBI record for his high school, but Bill, he has had the opportunity to do something every fan of the game of baseball would probably love to do one day, and that is actually play a real game on the Field of Dreams field in Iowa. How cool is that? I know Truist Park is cool, don't get me wrong, but that's pretty awesome as well. 0-2 missed outside, and it's now 1-2.
We were questioning, Chad, defensive substitution in center field for the red team. Number 12, Dakota Jones, now taking over.
Thank you, sir. 1-2 count. This one is line foul down the third base line.
Yeah, he was on his front foot. There was right, and just had to fist that one off the left side there. So good job by Jordan Leslie, kind of getting the batters off balance with that change up there. We'll see if he'll continue with that.
And you can see the shortstop and third baseman, they have shifted toward the line.
No doubt.
Another 1-2 from Leslie. Fastball, and it just missed. Leslie lost his hat in the follow-through. Evens the count, 2 balls and 2 strikes to the first baseman, Kenyon Wright, batting cleanup here for the blue team. 2-2 count. Here it comes. Slow roller, third base, long way to come in. Fielded, throw to first is not in time. A good play down at third, but it just was a little too slow yet. Infield single, no doubt on that one.
Yeah.
And down at third base, that was number 17, Taj Toten. He did everything right. Played it on the hop, charged in, made a great throw, but he was playing so deep that he just wasn't able to throw out Kenyon Wright in time.
And I think the red team has now changed that already by bringing him in, even with the bag now at third base. So we'll have to see if that'll help them in the future. Runner at first, right, and he's getting a good lead.
Elijah Beck is at the plate now. Swings through this one. Elijah Beck doing the catching here today for the blue team. Made a couple of nice stops in that last inning. Runner on first, nobody out. Bottom of the second. Beck digs in there. And here's the pitch. A little low and outside. And it brings the count to 2 balls and a strike.
It's interesting to see defensive how they're positioning their players defensively. The left field is awfully deep. Center field is playing rather shallow. And right field, again, even with the bag, as that one's flared into the air. And the first baseman, Cade Stick, calls off the pitcher, Leslie, and says, I've got it. So short fly ball to the first baseman, F3 on the putout if you're just joining us.
Beck with that one right off his fist. Foul territory for the first out here in the bottom of the second inning. So 1 down, runner on first. Again, pitching is Jordan Leslie here in the bottom of the second inning. First pitch on the way from Leslie is downstairs and a good stop behind the plate.
So Ty Freeman is at bat, and Roberts came in. We thought Freeman was going to start, but now he's batting here. So
he'll swing through that one to even the count at 1-1. Ty Freeman at the plate. 1 out, runner on first. 2-0 ball game. Red team is on top here in the bottom of inning number 2. The 1-1, here it comes. Outside corner and painted perfectly for strike 2 by Jordan Leslie. A ball and 2 strikes. Runner on first, 1 out. Freeman is at the plate. That's a name that was said a lot of times in this ballpark for quite a few years.
Yeah, I've heard a couple of names, Jones, Freeman, very familiar to the Atlanta Braves, and now we have looks like a little miscommunication, like of a late steal, and Wright is going to be thrown out at second base.
The ball got away from Ugalde.
Right.
Wright tried to take advantage of it, but was gunned down trying to go from first to second, and that's going to be the second out of the inning. And it'll bring the count to 2 balls and 2 strikes. So now nobody on. And Jordan Leslie trying to get out of the inning. The 2-2. Low and inside, and there's ball 3. One thing that the red team has not done yet, they have not given up a walk.
Interesting. Leslie is staying in the stretch. This is something I did as well. If I ever was in this situation, I was in the stretch and then stayed in it for that very situation. And it worked for him because he gets the strikeout. So not a normal 1-2-3.
But it is a 1-2-3 inning nonetheless. And we will go to the top of inning number 3. It is a 2-0 ball game. The red team is on top of the blue team. And quickly, we'll try to check back in with Sky down on the field because we've got a special guest going to be joining us here in the broadcast booth. So let's see. Sky, are you still down there with us? You haven't melted yet, have you?
He's running around there somewhere. There he is. He's over on the third base line. We see Sky.
Decided to give some love to the red team over here. My first time over on this side. And like I talked about in the pregame, they're just kind of here. They're really serious. They're all about game. There's not a lot of huge celebrations and whatnot. They're just here to come out here and show what they've been doing their whole lives and putting their talents on here at Truist Park. So great pitching so far. We'll see if they can keep that up through the whole game, but I'm really liking what I'm seeing from this red team.
Well, it's 2-0 as we get ready to go to the top of inning number 3. Let's welcome you back inside the broadcast booth here high atop Truist Park once again. Alongside of Bill Connolly, I'm Chad Feltman, and joining us here tonight, slide on up, Mike. Come on up here. This is Mike Stopp, who is here with us today, and he is the whole reason we're all here today. Mike, it is good to have you here with us today. The Native American Athletic Foundation putting on another showcase here today, and I know you guys have been here for at least 4 days now. I saw you guys here Thursday night, but I'd imagine it's been a pretty fun stay so far in Atlanta.
It has been. It's been great. So this is our 4th year down here. It's gotten a lot smoother every year, but we also have a few changes, and this year was one of those changes. We came in, kids got to watch a ball game on Thursday because the Braves are in town, did some programming on Friday, then they had their clinic, and here we are today. It's a pretty quick weekend.
Talk about the kids you have here today, and I think I counted 48 on the roster. And I read right from 22 states and Canada, and just kind of how you came up with how you selected who's here today.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm going to talk a little bit about the background of the program. So I used to work in Congress, had some friends who got into government relations when we all left the Hill right around COVID time, and they wanted to find ways to reach out to Indian country. The Atlanta Braves was one, and the NFL was another. So we started looking for programs that we could use to engage in Indian country. And the Braves came on board looking for things to do, and that's how this was born out. They wanted to put on this youth program, and they invited everyone, not just people in their market. It's anyone from Indian country that can apply, and we had over 200 applications this year from, again, all over the United States.
Isaac Suntakoy is back at the plate, and he will lead off the top of the 3rd inning. He was at the plate when the craziness took place at the top of the 2nd.
So that tells me, Chad, there must have been a runner interference call of some sort by one of the runners on the base that for him to come back up here, because we looked at it. It certainly wasn't a check swing or anything like that. So Suntakoy coming back in here. So with that, you said you had 200 kids that kind of applied for that. Did you guys have a tryout to kind of weed it down to 50, or how did you go from 200 to what we currently have here?
We basically work off film and then coach recommendations as well. We look for the best talent that puts in, and we look at what age they are, and we kind of focus heavily on the rising seniors. If you stand out especially strong, we'll consider you for a little bit younger, and then also as a graduated senior.
So you probably had some sophomores or whatever that applied, and you wanted to focus on the juniors and seniors.
Correct.
Easton Hancock, number 2, is the new pitcher here for the blue team in the top of the 3rd inning. He's got a 2-2 count on Suntakoy. And that one missed outside for ball 3. How about that First inning for Suntacoy, striking out the side for the red team. That's got to be a pretty cool memory he'll talk about for a long time.
Absolutely. This is actually his second year here. And so he was one of those that came up really talented, wanted to give him the opportunity. Even with the talent pool that we had that applied this year, he still stood out. And so we're excited to have him out. And we expect big things from him.
So is this
That's
like
the thing. He had the experience, the
Yeah.
advantage then. Okay.
So y'all treat this sort of like an all-star kind of a thing. If they've done really, really well, then they earn the spots, obviously, to be looked at. And so, in a way, this is an all-star of sorts.
Well, sort of. So essentially, we started at 0 every year. So even though Isaac had been here last year, he didn't actually have an advantage. Any advantage he might have had, I would hope, is from the programming he got last year that helped made him a better ball player.
Devontae Ross is at the plate for the second time today, batting cleanup for the red team. He walked back in the first inning. The 0-1 misses low and outside, and it's 1-1. Again, Isaac Suntacoy is the base runner at first. We're in the top of the third inning, 2-0. Red team is on top after a RBI base hit by Sanjay Hickman last inning. 1-1 misses outside, and now it's 2 balls and a strike. So what's next? I know you guys are done after today. You've been here since Thursday, but any other all-star baseball games around the country for your group?
So, no, not this year. We're looking at expanding our clinic presence, taking a note from the Braves and the work they do. And then we're actually working with other ball clubs to try to expand this into other parts of the country as well.
But you guys, not just baseball, you had a football program earlier this year, late last fall, right?
Yes. So we also have a football program. As I mentioned, when I left the Hill, there was interest from both organizations, NFL and the Braves, in ways to reach out to Indian country. And the NFL actually took the first step in developing an all-star game that we did in 2021 in partnership with the Minnesota Vikings, and that's been a pretty big hit as well.
Devontae Ross has the second base hit of the ball game for the red team, a single to center, and that'll put runners on first and second now with nobody out.
So speaking of Devontae Ross, that's a good timing. He actually played in our football game in January.
Oh, wow, okay. What position did he play in football?
I'll be honest, I can't remember.
But he was there.
He was there.
Yeah, well, I have to see if we can find that, Chad, because that's pretty cool to getting to play in 2 sports.
Boston Knowles, the second baseman, is at the plate for the second time today. He popped out to second his first time up with the bases loaded on an infield fly rule. Snap throw back down to first, and that one just about got away from Canyon Wright, but he did a good job to keep it in front of him. 2 balls, no strikes. Boston Knowles, the number 5 batter, is at the plate. Top of the third inning, 2-0 red team.
So I'm being told Devontae was a running back.
There you go.
Okay.
Pretty accurate source.
Line drive down to third. Good play. Step on the bag for 1. Throw to first is not in time, but a great play down at third by Max Williams. Took a line drive shot. Almost had the double play, but he will record the first out of the inning after the line drive shot off the bat of Boston Knowles. So he'll take that, and that'll be the first out. Runners remain at first and second. And another good stop at first again. On one in the dirt, Canyon Wright was able to dig it out. Runners remain at first and second, now 1 out. And this one is sent out toward left center field. It'll be called off and caught by the shortstop, Ronald Jones III, out on the edge of the grass, and that's going to be out number 2 as the third baseman, Taj Toten.
So Ronald is actually from here in Atlanta. We don't have a lot of Georgia folks, which is what's interesting about this game. A lot of folks come from all over the country and not local.
I believe Arabia Mountain High School, if I'm not mistaken.
That's correct.
Close to the area for Ronald Jones III. Tristan Cheek is at the plate now, and he'll take a first pitch strike. Runners on first and second. 2 outs in the top of the third inning. 2-0 red team. Again, Easton Hancock is the pitcher. Another one rope foul down the third base line. And it'll bring the count to no balls and 2 strikes. Mike Stopp is here with us in the broadcast booth. Joining us high atop Truist Park, where it's much cooler up here. In the nice AC. Bill was complaining earlier it was too cold up here. I said, go down there with Sky. I bet he would change real fast.
I made a comment. It wasn't a complaint.
Here's the 0-2 on the way, and there's strike 3, outside corner. And Hancock is able to freeze Tristan Cheek. And that is the third out of the inning. So a base hit by Devontae Ross, but the runners are left stranded. And we will go to the bottom of inning number 3. It is 2-0 red team. And again, we'll welcome you back inside the broadcast booth where we are very, very honored to be here with everybody today. I'm Chad Feltman with K13 Media. Mike Stopp is in the middle. Bill Connolly is down on the end. And first of all, thank you for having us. I know this is you guys' first year live streaming and broadcasting the ball game, but I know we've been talking about it now for the past couple of weeks, just how excited we were to get up here for the weekend.
Absolutely.
So thank you for having us. We really appreciate it.
Thank you for the professional job you guys do. I'm going to get off here. Got some work to do, but I just want to say thank you to guys for being here. Thanks to the Braves, and really thanks to the parents who trust us with their players.
Absolutely. Well, it is an absolute honor to have us. I know you're a very busy man, and I'm glad we got a half inning in with you. So I think that's more than we thought we were going to get.
So I did bring up one of our native coaches who was also a former player that I'd like you guys to talk to a little bit and hear his story.
No doubt.
Absolutely.
And so I'll let him introduce himself. Eric Kirkpatrick. Eric, come on.
Come on, Eric.
Hey,
Come and
thanks
join
for
us.
having us.
Mike Stopp, everybody, joining us up here today. As we go to the bottom of inning number 3, we'll get Eric all mic'd up, get him ready to go. And while Eric is getting the headset on, we'll see if we have some defensive changes out here. Looks like we may have another new pitcher for the red team. This looks to be number 1, Florentino Salinas will be the new pitcher for the red team. It is 2-0, red team on top. Bottom of the 3rd inning. And once again in the broadcast booth, Eric Kirkpatrick.
Yes, sir.
Good to have you. Slide on down. Look, you can't be up here and be shy now,
Yes,
man.
sir.
All right, come on up here and join us. Now, Mike was telling us you had a great story you wanted to talk to us about, so you go ahead and do what you got to do. Me and Bill are going to go get some ice cream out of the fridge, right?
No, it's I'm honored that Mike called me and offered to bring me down here. I work for a all Native American high school, so we're 100% Native American in Oklahoma.
Okay.
We're ran through the Cherokee Nation tribe, and so I've had some experience working with Native American kids, and I was really excited. I mean, you get to come here and see kids from different tribes, but it's pretty funny with the different cultures and traditions that come through. They all act the same. I mean, even though we're from 22 different states, 33 different tribes, they're all the same. And the best thing that connects everybody is, the passion for baseball.
Well, one thing I know that's got to be pretty cool from a coach's standpoint, you've had a couple of guys down there who we called out earlier, in Julio Franco
Yes, sir.
and Johnny Estrada. I mean,
Yes, sir.
2004 All-Star catcher for the Braves. So I know the players have been excited to be here, but what about from a coaching standpoint
this
with
is a
guys like
dream.
that, man?
Yeah, this is a dream. I got to work with Johnny yesterday all day. I was a catcher in college, and so getting to hear from him and just kind of affirm some of the things that I teach when I coach, it was amazing. He had so many great ideas, and you hear it from a different perspective. You might teach the same thing, but hearing it in different words, is really awesome, because sometimes when you work with kids, they might not understand what you're saying, but you can tell them a different way, because I learned, like Julio, we were talking about, fielding ground balls at second base and our transfers, and he had said it away. We were getting the same point across, but he said it in different words, and it clicked for me. I was like, that's awesome.
Yeah, and that's what you have to do.
Max Williams is at the plate. Sorry to cut you off, Bill. Florentino Salinas is the new pitcher. 1 ball, 2 strikes here to Williams, who is playing third base today for the blue team. Again, made a very nice play in the top half of the inning on a line drive shot, and now he'll send one down that way. And just about took out the coach down there. All right, who's the fancy footwork down there? That's pretty good work. They put a coach's box there for a reason. Pretty good down there. Not to trip and fall. I would have been a mess and had to have paramedics out to help me.
Well, with that, when you're talking with Johnny and with Julio, and it's got to affirm some of the things that you do with your team, which has got to feel really good for me, because when the kids are, sometimes they're reluctant to do things, and you're like, hey, this is what Johnny is saying to me as well. It's not just me coming up with this, and so it puts some word recognition to it, and these kids know who they are.
Yes, it really, truly, we were talking about it because I don't like the one-knee catching stance so much. I was a catcher in college, and
Right.
I don't teach that. You have to compromise a little bit. There's times that you allow them to do it, but when Johnny came out and we were on the exact same page on it, it made me feel better, for one, because they see guys in the big leagues and they see guys in college able to do those things, and so they want to emulate those guys. And so hearing it from Johnny, it just really made me feel good that I'm teaching the correct things. And there's some things that I'm going to change when I go back home and teach them a little bit different, because of the wealth and the knowledge here that I got to experience just as a coach.
Rajon Kenton is at the plate. 1 ball and 1 strike. He is batting 8th for the blue team today, playing second base.
Yeah, Chad, and don't forget we had a good play by Boss Stice over in right field as another one is sent over to him. That one gets by him. Chad, as Max Williams had to fly out to right field, so that'll probably go as a single. What are you calling that, Chad, from the booth here? What are you saying?
I think you got to go definitely a single on that. I mean, probably go with a double. Took a tricky hop. He didn't necessarily misplay on it. Eric, how about you? We'll let you be the bad guy and make the call. I'm going double.
I call it double. He never slowed down, go around first. He was booking it.
Tricky hop out there on that grass, which, by the way, funny story yesterday. We were down there doing some mic testing and all that, and oh, boy, you should have seen the look some of us got when we got close to the grass.
Oh.
It's like the old man, get off my lawn.
Yes, sir.
So a double by Kenton will put a runner at second. With 1 out here in the bottom of the third, it'll bring up the DH Wesley Jumper. One of the DHs, I should say. One interesting thing about the ball game today, Eric, is all 12 in the lineup get to bat. That's got to be something pretty cool for the kids.
Yeah, it's awesome. It gives them the opportunity to, showcase what they have, and, instead of just batting 9 and rotating in, they get to go through the lineup and, just showcase their talent.
So Kenton is the base runner at second, Jumper at first, and there's a strike to even the count at 1-1. If you're just tuned in, we're in the bottom of the third inning, 2-0 ball game. Red team got 2 runs in the top of the second, but I mean it could easily be a 6 or 7-0 ball game right now. The red team had bases loaded, nobody out in the first. They had bases loaded, 1 out in the second. As the 1-1, it's swung on and missed, and it brings the count to 1-2 to Wesley Jumper, who is at the plate. Again, it's Rajon Kenton, who is the base runner at second after the double. Second hit of the ball game for the blue team to go along with a single by Canyon Wright, an infield single, a slow roller down the third base line last inning.
Coach, talk a little bit about before the game starts of calming the nerves of these young kids. I know that because they've got to be up there, because you're playing at Truist Field, and do you get into the speech like at Hoosiers where you tell them like, hey, it's still the same dimensions as a normal baseball park, and
yep, yes, sir. So like you said, Friday, we got to have a kind of a program day, and we got to talk to them, and that was kind of the main point. Is it's still a round ball, it's a round bat. I like to joke around with them and just say, all you got to do is hit it, catch it, and throw it, and you can play this game. So slow the game back down when it starts to speed up, and it's still 60 feet 6 inches from the mound and 90-foot bases. So go play ball.
Single into left is going to let a run come in to score. Jumper is going to get thrown out trying to stretch that single into a double. An error out in left by Devontae Ross as he misplayed the hop. But so a run will come in. It'll make it a 2-1 ball game. A single by Jumper. That allows Rajon Kenton to come in and score. And that's the second out of the inning, but the first error in the ball game by the red team in E7. So each team now with 1 error as we're in the bottom of the third. 2 outs. Nobody on.
Well, Chad, you gotta give Ross credit there. Made the error in the outfield, but didn't let that stop him as he made a great throw into second base in time for the play. And so that's a lesson in itself, even when you make a mistake. If you stay at the ball, stay with your play, do what you know you have to do, and he ended up getting the out. So that's resiliency like that you've got to play in this game. If you get down on yourself at any moment, that's when it can bite you.
Manny LaChapa is at the plate right now, 2-1 count. Make it 3-1 as this one misses outside. 3 balls, a strike, 2 outs. Nobody on. 2-1 ball game. We're in the bottom of the third inning. Third of the way through here at Truist Park on a hot Sunday afternoon in Atlanta. 3-1 catches the outside corner, and there's strike 2. Good-looking fastball that time.
Home plate umpire's been given that outside corner so far in this game to both sides, Chad. So that's something for the pitchers to take note of.
3-2 lifted out toward deep right field. Chasing it and still going back and making the catch in deep right is Boss Stice. Long way to run for Stice, but he's able to put it away, and that is the third out of the inning. But the blue team is on the board. A base hit by Wesley Jumper brings in Rajon Kenton, who had a double, And at the end of 3, we've got ourselves a 2-1 ball game. Let's bring you back inside the broadcast booth one more time. Eric Kirkpatrick, am I saying it?
Kirkpatrick,
Kirkpatrick, yes, okay, is in here with us today. And man, I hope you guys have had a great time here in Atlanta. This is an awesome ballpark, and again, I know you guys have been here for the last 4 days, and
yes,
hopefully we get to do it again next year, man.
Yes, 100%. It's definitely an amazing experience for the players and the coaches.
So what's been the number one thing coaching-wise, if you've had to pick one thing this weekend you've been able to pick up on, you'll take back to Oklahoma with you?
Oh, that's really tough. I've learned a lot.
Did Johnny Estrada tell you about his pizza restaurant he used to own down in Peachtree City?
So he is not the only one. I had a buddy I played ball with, and he seen I was down here, and he told me the same place right down here. So Johnny encouraged me to go get it. He was impressed by their trash cans. He said they have trash cans especially for their boxes.
The night they opened that restaurant, he had Tim Hudson come in with him. So there was a big autograph signing with Johnny was there, Tim Hudson was there. I got a picture with Tim and Johnny signed my hat, but that was I had a lot more hair back then. So. But, man, it's great to have you here. Appreciate you being up here. And
Thank you.
Go down and enjoy the rest of this
I will.
thing. It's a little warmer down there.
Yes,
but
I don't mind. It's baseball. So
Eric Kirkpatrick here with us today in the broadcast booth, and glad to have Eric and Mike and all the crew here with us today as we are bringing you live coverage of the 2025 Native American All-Star Showcase. It is a 2-1 ball game as we get ready to go to the top of inning number 4, and now to take you through innings 4, 5, and 6 from Mercer University in Macon, Georgia, and the Macon Mayhem hockey team. Please welcome the one and only Mr. Bill Connolly on the call as we go to the top of inning number 4.
Thank you, Chad. And great to have several of the coaches come up here to the booth with us. And it's always a treat to sit there and talk baseball with them and to call baseball for that matter. And so great opportunity here for these young men. And it's been a treat, I know, for them, the coaching staff as well. And for the family who got to come along with them. It looks like we have another pitching change on the mound for the blue team. Chad, check me here. Is that 17, I believe, on the mound? It looks like Ronald Jones.
Yes, sir.
And I got confirmation. So Ronald Jones, the big righty, will be on the mound for the blue team.
Bill, I'd like to say one last thing before I head out. I want to highlight what we saw there from Devontae Ross in that play at second. One of the things that we really pushed the kids on Friday was don't let a mistake bring you down and stop you. Work through it. Pick it up. You're going to mess up. You're going to fail. What makes the difference is how you recover from that.
So I fed right into that for you there.
He really did. That's why I was like, man, I hope Eric talks about that. And then what we also heard from the recruiters yesterday, and why I wanted to get on here and say this for the family and the parents, is the recruiter says they want to see things like that. You may see that as a mistake, and you're not going to put it in your highlight reel, but they're going to take real notice of the fact that he made a mistake, but he recovered and made the play at second.
Well, you're not giving up on the play because eventually you take a mistake and you make it into something positive. And then what it actually did was showcase his fantastic arm and accuracy from the outfield. So that was a great play. 2-0 the count here. That one's outside again to the right-handed batter. It looks like we have a pinch hitter, Chad, 21.
Nope, this is Christian Ugalde, starting catcher, his second at bat. He walked his first time up.
So now he'll walk again. And so that'll bring up Cade Stick, number 37, who struck out his first time up. And again, that's not only baseball, but that's a life lesson in general. Is when you make a mistake in life, you stick with it, good things can happen, and you learn from those things. And I know that goes along with the core values that you guys teach with these kids that are coming up with you guys, not only for baseball, but in the Native American culture.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I just wanted to take the time to highlight that. Big fan of Devontae, what he works on. I'm going to head out of here, but I think you guys have another guest coming up in
outstanding
World Series pitcher Greg McMichael from the Braves, so he'll be up here next.
Absolutely.
Thank you, guys.
Mike Staub, thank you so much, man. Appreciate it very much.
And that fly ball by Stick, corralled by the first baseman, Stick rather, with Canyon right on the play, and then that'll bring up for the red team number 14, Cash Knowles, as we have one out in the inning. Knowles takes that over but low from Jones. 1-0 the count from Truist Park here in the top of the fourth inning. 2-1 red team with the lead. Jones peers in for the sign, kicks and fires, and there for a strike, evens up the count at 1-1. Great day for baseball here from Truist Park. Always a pleasure to be at this park. I know the fans love it. If you haven't been out to a game around here, the Battery is fantastic. Lots to do here, whether the game is going on or not. All-Star game coming up, and I know these kids are so excited to be here. They were here for the game against the Mets on Thursday and had a fantastic time as that one's fisted foul off to the left side.
Cash Knowles at the plate out of Purcell High School in Purcell, Oklahoma, wearing number 14. And pretty cool, he spells his name Cash with a K.
Yeah. I know. Yeah, there was one of those things that's is pretty cool, and he said his family owns a Pastime Engraving. They do an engraving business. That one's swung on and missed down the second with the steal goes Christian Uvalde, and Chad, we have another guest in here. We're going to get to talk to him. For most Braves fans, needs no introduction. Greg McMichael. Greg, it's so good to meet you again, my friend, and good to see you up here in the booth with us.
Thank you. Good to be here.
Jones over, but goes outside. Uvalde comes off to second base like he's faking to go to third, but wisely held up. And have you been able to talk to some of the kids down there?
Yeah. You know, they've been here since Thursday, so we've had some interaction with them, talked to some parents, talked to the kids. You know, we look forward to this every year and getting to see them come on a big league field. On Thursday was pretty amazing, getting them to be out on the field for the opening pitch and national anthem and all that good stuff. So, it's always fun to see them here and experiencing something that a lot of times we take for granted, right?
No doubt. And I know for them, they look at some of them were talking to me, and one of the guys said, he used to play in college, and they're looking at me and they see the gray hair, and so for them, many of them probably don't know that you played on a World Series team.
Well, they probably weren't born. They weren't born yet.
So. Anyway, Chad, we have one interesting thing here is steal for third, but there was the interference on the batter that called for the third out, and so that's how we ended that inning as we're now going as the red team is now taking the field for the bottom of the fourth inning. And, Greg, what has been the message from you? I know you work with the Braves on that with these kids. What's been the message that you guys have been talking with them about this week?
We had a great time yesterday talking with the parents and the kids. I say kids, but young men who are looking to make this next step in their life into college. And we had a great panel discussion with one of our scouts, Travis Coleman, and then Tino Brogus with Savannah State and Julio Franco. We were on a panel just, really kind of sharing with them our perspective from a scout, coach, former player, and, a lot of them who do aspire to go to the next level and play in college. We shared some tidbits on things that we think how they could be proactive and they can take control of their dreams and pursue those schools that they want to go to. But also, my message has been also, listen, very few people get a chance to keep playing baseball. I mean, I was very fortunate to get to play at the highest level, and I know that's not always the case. You could fit all the major league players that have lived and played for the last 100 years. You could put them in the stadium, and they wouldn't fill it up. Right. So that's a pretty amazing stat when you think of the millions upon millions upon millions of kids that have played baseball. So my message was, hey, if you're passionate about this game like we are, we know you can learn a ton from this game about failure, about yourself, about success, about just life in general. So if you want to keep being a part of this great game, there are other opportunities besides being a ball player. So my message has been, hey, pursue it as far as you can, let it take you as far as you can. But then we have accountants, we have people in marketing, we have people in HR, we have people that work on the field. So there's a lot of other opportunities that where you could be involved in this great sport that you don't have to be one of the 1%ers that play.
Got a new pitcher coming in here, Bill, for the bottom of the fourth inning for the red team. It's going to be number 19, Adrian Garrison. right-handed thrower here for the red team. He will come in and take over in the bottom of the fourth inning in a 2-1 ball game.
Easton Hancock steps in. First pitch to him is over but low, and Greg, absolutely, and not more than that. Especially with the Native American culture, which is so much focused on family, is like you talk about all those young people who make it to the next level. You don't get there alone, and you got to remember, remember to thank the ones that got you to that point. And I know you're a big advocate of that as well.
Yeah, we deal with a lot of families. We have our league that's 5 to 12 years old. We deal with young kids in rec ball.
Sent in the right field, and on his horse, Hancock sent it in the right field, and Boss Stice able to corral that one for the first out of the inning.
Actually, Sanjaya Hickman has checked in right field to replace Bice.
Well, we made sure to thank the parents because we knew it was a commitment for them to bring their kids here. They didn't come alone. A lot of them drove long distances, so we were excited that they were here and made that commitment to give them this experience.
Eddie Lucero now in the batter's box, takes that one on the outside part of the plate for a strike. 0-1 the count.
First time that the blue team has been through their entire order. They have yet to come back and bat twice, whereas the red team is almost everybody has hit twice so far.
Again, outside with that pitch. Any of the young pitchers ask you for some tips or anything like that, Greg?
I haven't got a chance to talk with them, but we do have an incredible alumni. Pete Smith's in the bullpen with them all day yesterday and today, and Pete is a teacher here in the Atlanta area. Pete used to work with me when I had an instructional facility. He does a great job, and he's been real passionate about working with young people. So they're in good hands.
That's
so
awesome.
I'm not worried about it. They don't need to. They can ask him everything, but he's doing really well, and I know that they've enjoyed working with him.
I know Johnny Estrada. He coaches down in the Macon area, and a little story about him is. He would disagree with a call because I'm an umpire down in the middle of Georgia area in high school, and so Johnny's passionate.
Yeah.
I don't need to tell you that.
Yeah. Well, that competitiveness doesn't leave you once
it does not.
Once you start graying.
3-1 the count on the outside part of the plate, and he's been consistent with that pitch there, Chad. He's given the black just outside the black on that call all day, so a full count, 3-2. To Lucero. And that one's in outside for the ball, and Lucero will now jog down the first base. And I had to tell you that one, Greg, because Eddie's funny.
Well, we've got Jerome Walton here, who he was Rookie of the Year with the Cubs.
Right.
I got a chance to play with him in the mid-'90s, and he was a great player, as well as of course Marquise and Luke Collier and Marvin Freeman are usually here too, but they were doing some work with MLB. So we've had a good relationship with MGBA to help come out and give these kids a good workout.
Lane Gavin now in there pinch hitting for the blue team. First pitch is outside. 1-0 the count. Throw to first. That's going to get away. The speedy Lucero is on his way to second, takes a turn like he's going to look for third, but wisely holds up and 1-0 the count. How do the kids receive that when they see all these former major leaguers around here that are giving up their time? And I know the parents love that, but some of these kids may not have been alive when a lot of these guys were playing, but the instruction doesn't change. The game hasn't changed very much from when Babe Ruth played till now. It's still 4 bases. It's still see ball, hit ball, field ball.
Yeah, well, you'd think that that's not necessarily the case if you listen to the media. And you would think that the game was invented about 10 years ago, but we know that's not true. It's been played a certain way for 100 years. And, one thing I've noticed about this group, I love them to death. They're very respectful and very grateful to be here, and they play hard. They're a little shy. And so, Julio said something really interesting yesterday. He was encouraging them to ask questions. You can't learn unless you ask questions. And so we were really wanting them to kind of take advantage of this a little bit more than they're doing, because they are a little bit shy.
Ethan Abram now pinch hitting here for the blue team. And, a lot of that, some of them may be, feel like this is big for the moment. They don't, but it's all about teaching the game. And I know I could sit here and have you on for the rest of the afternoon, and you get to talk baseball. I mean, how cool is that for you? I mean, you still, the game is still in you. It never leaves you.
Sure, and we talk about it all the time at the water cooler. We talk about it at the office. Of course, I'm around all the alumni. Douglas Citra that works with me here, he's spearheading a lot of stuff with the alumni, and whenever they come around, he knows they want to talk baseball. Fans want to talk baseball, and it's we get around these young kids. We want to share our knowledge. We want to share our experiences with them, and I thought it was really cool that yesterday we were saying, hey, one day you're going to be sharing your knowledge with the next generation, and so you're going to be sitting where we are, and so we encourage you to ask more questions, and so you'll be ready to do that. 2-2
count here. The Abrams throw over to third base, and they're going to say he is out at third. I thought Lucero might have got a hand underneath the tag, but a good throw by the catcher, Ugalde, and a good job by the third baseman, number 7. I think we have a change in here. Johan Lucas now playing at third base. Dropped the tag really quickly. That was a textbook play over there at third base. As you see the replay, is that one sent into left field. Back goes Ross. He's got it, and that'll end the inning. And Greg, thanks you for coming around here and talking to us.
Oh,
man.
this is great.
This is a cool thing for us.
Well, this is our first year doing the live stream, so appreciate you guys being available and doing this. It's something we're definitely going to want to do every year, and appreciate you all doing it. This is great.
Yeah, Greg McMichael, many of you know, was 95 World Series team with the Atlanta Braves and still working with the club and with the young folks. Greg, thanks for joining us, buddy. All right, Chad, we're going now to the top of the 5th inning. Still 2-1, and got a lot of substitutions and a lot of changes to our lineups here.
Yeah, it's been my lineup card looks like a kindergarten class got a hold of it. Got a lot of different colors. Been trying to keep up with a lot of different players, and I believe we've got another update down on the field. Sky Gillespie, who is joining us here today, has got us a live shot just outside the dugout on the first base line. Sky, what you got for us?
Oh, as blue team continues to chip away, I talked with Wesley Jumper, who had that RBI double. Supposedly double. I talked to him. I asked him his thoughts. He had 3 words. I was safe. That's all he had to say. As blue continues to try to chip away, but he was didn't have many words, but there you go.
Well, do you ever feel like, I was out? I mean, do you ever want to say that? But that's funny.
Never. You're always safe. Always.
Matthew Wise now on the hill for the blue team here. He will get the nod to pitch here. Big righty. And let's see. For the red team now, it looks like we have number 11, Wakia Rains. Quick story about him. I talked with him before the game about his parents' coffee shop in Cherokee, North Carolina, one of my favorite places in the world to go and visit. Grew up going around there, and so he told me I have to come see him now and let him make a cup of coffee for me the next time I'm in Cherokee. So I can't wait for that. As throw down to second, it looks like we're ready to get the top of the 5th inning going here. Rains due up. And then the top of the order, it looks like number 8 will bat for Boss Stice for the red team. He is in the on-deck circle. That'll be Dylan Maxim.
I'm just curious, when you go to Cherokee and you're talking about getting coffee, how do you like your coffee? Any particular style? Or well, how is Bill Connolly's coffee prepared?
Well, I can drink it black. I don't put sugar in it typically. But usually I like to go with a local flavor. I want to try something new. So that was one of the things that I learned in my military career was not always going for the American, always going for something that's Americanized. Go with something local. So the 1-0 count here. Back up the middle off of Raines, and a good piece of hitting, and that'll be his first hit of the game here in the 5th inning. And that'll bring up Dylan Maxim.
Max Williams, number 8, has checked into center field.
Max Williams, okay.
For the blue team.
For the blue team, Max Williams. Bear with us, folks. This is, I tell you, when you're playing with an all-star team like this and you can do free substitutions like that, they're going to get all the players in that they can to get a look.
Matthew Wise, number 29, is your new pitcher for the blue team.
Wise kicks and fires, swung on and missed there by Matt. I wonder if that's a foul ball. I didn't see the hand in the air by the umpire. I know the defenders were thinking that was a foul ball, but the umpires did not say that, so it counts as a pass ball.
Tayton Threet, who started the game in left field, is now catching for the blue team. I'm trying to keep him up as you go, man. So
man, I tell you what, Chad, that's a work. That's
everybody's
a job.
going to play everywhere today. I promise you. I'm waiting on Sky to get out there and shag some balls in right field for us over with.
Don't say it. You know what? I'll tell you a little trivia here. Sky actually pitched for the Macon Bacon. I was the public address announcer for this. Sky could actually get out there and throw.
Bullpen? Batting practice? Home run derby?
He can pitch. He pitched.
He never told me that.
Oh, well, Sky's kind of humble sometimes.
Maxim Dillon at the plate.
The 1-2 delivery now from Wise as he peers in, looking for the sign. In comes set. In there, he took something off of that one, Chad, and that was a good piece of pitching right there. And there's one out in the inning here, and that'll bring up
number 19, Adrian Garrison.
So Max Dillon, who was pitch hitting there for Ball Stice, was in the leadoff spot. So we're back to the top of the order here for the red team.
And Adrian Garrison is the batter. Weiss comes set, delivers. That one's in the dirt.
First time today that Garrison will get an at-bat, and it's the 3rd trip through the order for the red team.
And they're like you said, they're making changes at every turn here. Still 2-1 as that one's in the dirt. 2-0 the count.
You know, last Wednesday before the Braves and the Mets game, myself and Wiley Ballard from FanDuel TV, we did a scorekeeping session out here with the kids.
Not a lot of kids know how to do that.
They didn't, but they do now, and I'll be perfectly honest with you. I'm glad I had a refresher in it because, like you said, we've got 48 players combined today, and all 48 are going to play. So these scorebooks are gonna be well used when we're out of here today.
It's going to look ugly when we're done. The 2-1 delivery over but low. 3-1 the count now.
Adrian Garrison batting in the 2-hole. He is pitch hitting for Pierce Caton. Caton today was hit by a pitch not once but twice. So I'm sure at the end of the day he's not too terribly upset. He's not up there.
In there for a strike. Evens up, or actually make it a full count now. 3-2 there. I think they were the batter was certainly looking for a walk, and a little chirping from the red dugout here. They're intense with it, and caught looking is Garrison, the backwards K in the books. And that'll be the 2nd out of the inning.
Now batting for the red team,
and
number 5,
another pinch hitter, Nicky Navarro. With Rain still on second, he scampers towards third, in there safely with the steal. He kind of looked down at the catcher, and Johnny Estrada over there at third base is having a kind of a one-way conversation of what are you looking at? You run and get to the base. So instruction going on there on the base pass.
Navarro is the oldest of a 4-boy household.
Oh, boy. His poor mother. Man.
The oldest of 4.
Man, oh, man, oh, man. So she's got 3 more that are hopefully wanting to make it over here to Atlanta to play in a future All-Star game. Inside with that pitch. 3-0 the count now from Matthew Wise to Nicky Navarro. All these kids that I talked to before the game, they have been so thankful and impressed with getting to be a part here of the Atlanta Braves Stadium and Truist Park, as that one's in there for a strike. 3-1 the count now. 2 outs here in the inning. Raines there at third base. He's getting a good lead. The 3-1 delivery over but low. And Navarro will scamper down the first base with a walk for ball 4. And it looks like number 16, Jordan Leslie.
He came in last inning to pitch for the red team.
Weiss, throw to first. Back in time is Navarro. Runners at the corners here, but there are 2 out in the inning for the red team. Red team lead it 3-1, or 2-1 rather. 2 runs on 3 hits for the red team, 1 run on 3 hits for the blue team.
Jordan Leslie plays mariachi, Forest High School. How cool is that? Not
that
just
is
baseball.
pretty cool. The 1-0. Navarro will steal second. No throw down on catcher indifference. So runners now, 2 runners in scoring position for the red team. The 2-0 delivery. Swung on and missed by Leslie.
I think he got a piece of that one, like he fouled it off.
I think you're right. On that, it looked like, but a good job by the catcher there to stay with it. The work is never done here at Truist Park, Chad. You're hearing a little sounds of a wrench or a screwdriver going on. They're working on some seats,
putting some
down below us.
The new chair bag seats.
Yeah.
Those green padded seats over here in the Lexus level.
The 3-1 delivery. Ball 4. Raines on his horse coming in. He's going to slide in safely for the run. Raines, good job of scampering in. Down to third goes Navarro. It was ball 4, so Jordan Leslie, and so now that'll bring up another pinch hitter, Florentino Salinas. His friends call him TJ. He asked me to call him TJ as well.
So are you his friend now?
Well, he asked me to call him that when he realized what I was doing. So, I mean, I think we're friends. I mean, he may not think we're friends, but, I mean, I do. The 0-1 swung on and fouled back and out of play. So 0-2 the count now. And
Jordan Leslie had a huge jump at first and was taken off for second. Luckily, that one was fouled off for the blue team. He was almost standing at the bag.
Yeah, he could have taken the turn off of that one. The 0-2 delivery from Weiss, again taking off. And that's going to find a hole in between short and third. And it'll be first and third. And a good job of hitting by Salinas with the single. That'll plate another run for the red team. 2 runs here in the second, or in the fifth rather, and it'll be 4-1. And it looks like we got another pinch hitter. We're going to have pitch hitters all the rest of the way, Chad. So
this is going to be number 13 for the red team. This is going to be Tayden Fine, who, by the way, his Uncle Derek played pro football for the Buffalo Bills.
Oh, wow. The Bills Mafia.
Not sure when, but
Salinas will steal second down the second on that. So, again, runners at second and third. 2 outs in the inning for Tayden Fine. Swung on and missed. Evens up the count at 1-1. good job of pitching there by Weiss. Had Fine out in front of that one. So the 1-1 delivery from Fine, who works quickly. Swung on and missed again. 1-2 the count, and Weiss is not wasting any time.
Lucas Johann, number 7 in the on-deck circle for the red team.
The 1-2. Swung on and missed again. Strike 3, and we're at end to inning, but not before the red team come in with 2 runs on 2 hits. And we have played 4.5. Your score as we go to the bottom of the 5th. 4-1 red team. And I got to tell you, Chad, this is if you ever need some extra help or extra work doing a keeping score, a game like this will certainly get you back into the game here with all the changes that we've had so far today.
Yeah, there have been a lot. But again, when you have 48 players, each team came with 24 players on their rosters. So, again, you're going to have a lot of changes. And we were certainly doing our best to keep up with all of them. I don't think we've really missed anything so far.
Well, not that we know of.
Yeah, we've gotten everything. I mean, it all started when we had our starting pitcher for the red team, or the blue team to start the game, scratched.
Well,
about 5 minutes after lineups came to the press box.
Well, and we just saw Taden Fine at bat, and now he's on the mound. So Taden Fine will take the mound for the red team here.
He's out of Victory Christian High School in Oklahoma.
Well, and for the blue team, it looks like number 15. Let's see here. 15. We'll go to my roster here. Aiden Chapman will be coming up first for the blue team.
And according to my scorebook, it should be the 3-4-5 spot due up here for the blue team. So Chapman should come in and replace Ronald Jones III, who was starting shortstop here today. So again, for the blue team, 3-4-5 will come up as we're going to the bottom of inning number 5. If you're just tuning in, for the red team, 2 runs in the second and 2 runs there in the 5th. For the blue team, just 1 run that came in the 3rd inning. 4 runs total today on 4 hits. A couple of errors for the red team. 1 run on 3 hits and an error for the blue team. 2025 Native American All-Star Showcase live today here at Truist Park. Very happy to be here with you alongside of Bill Connolly, and on our camera today, Michael Penn, Sky Gillespie down on the field, Mr. Robert Williamson producing and directing from JockJive Sports. Here to my left, my name is Chad Feltman with K13 Media, and a very special thank you to Mike Stopp for having us out here today, the Native American Athletic Foundation, putting on this All-Star Classic. And great to talk with Mike, great to talk with Eric, and of course, former Braves World Series champion Greg McMichael up here with us a few moments ago. And Bill, we're halfway home as we go to the bottom of the 5th.
Taden Fine now has the sign, comes set, kicks and fires, and outside with ball 1 to Aiden Chapman. Aiden, he didn't have a whole lot to say. He didn't give us any information. Like Greg McMichael and some of the others talk about, they weren't very some of them weren't eager to talk. Some of them we couldn't get them to hush, but the rest of them were pretty good. And that was hit on a rope, and Chapman puts a charge into that one. The shortstop unable to come up with it, and we'll give him a single with that hit. And so Chapman will be at first base.
Yeah, no doubt about that one. A hard line drive single. Great effort out there at short, but just off the glove of the shortstop. And again, trying to get you a number on who's out there. The numbers are only on the back of these jerseys. So maybe if we do this next year, again, that would be the only, and again, not a complaint, but maybe a suggestion.
Feedback.
Let's get feedback. I like that. Let's get some numbers on the front of the jerseys too.
Yeah. So number 22, that's Bryce Roberts pinch hitting now with 11 on deck. So we can kind of get ahead a little bit there, Chad. As Colin Davis is now in the on-deck circle. Fine, comes set, kicks and delivers. Swung on and hit to the first baseman. 3 unassisted. Throws down the second, but not in time. So it'll be a fielder's choice. And there are 1 out in the inning. Down to second is Chapman, and that'll bring up Colin Davis.
It's Cash and Cliff, the new first baseman in the game for the red team, who made that play. Almost had the double play.
Fine. Delivers off speed. Just inside. 1-0 the count. Runner at second is Chapman. As the blue team is trying to claw back into this game, as that one's on the outside part of the plate, but just off the plate. 2-0 the count. Now from beautiful Truist Park on a warm Sunday afternoon. The 2-0. Swung on and hit into right center field. Under it is the right fielder for the out, and F9 on the putout if you're scoring with me at home. And
Jordan Leslie in right field.
Leslie now
who was pitching last inning. You know, I'm glad one thing. I almost did not bring my binoculars, but I am so glad.
Yeah,
I accidentally grabbed them, as we're going to have another pitching change here in the bottom of the 5th inning.
Yeah, so pitching change
Now
with that.
Number 14, Cash Knowles.
As you heard our PA announcer tell you, number 14, Cash Knowles, is in for the red team. And take a look at our YouTube feed right here. I want to say thanks to everybody for tuning in today. We can see the comments, so if you're joining us right now, feel free to drop us a comment. We see a lot of folks on here, and they're telling us who they're cheering for. We'd love to know where you're watching from on here today as well. So this has been a fun day to be out here and bring you some live baseball again today, the 2025 Native American All-Star Showcase at Truist Park. 48 players around 22 states and Canada here with us this afternoon, and everybody's been here since Thursday night. Got to take in a Braves game Thursday against the Mets, and got to get recognized down on the field before the ball game, and here they are today putting their skills on display. So glad to have all of you on the YouTube channel. And again, feel free to drop us a comment. Love to know who you're tuning in to cheer on. And one thing I like to do, Bill, when I'm doing a lot of my broadcasts, is love to do like an attendance and a roll call. Love to see where everybody is watching from. You'd be surprised where people are tuned in from. So feel free to drop us a comment. Love to know what city and state or even country you're watching from today, as we are ready to go back at it, as Knowles is ready for his first pitch.
Thank you, Chad. So Nicholas Cody pitch hitting there for the blue team, as we had talked about. Cash Knowles, the 1-0 delivery from Knowles. He's looking back at the runner at second, trying to keep him close, and he hits the outside part of the plate with a strike, evening up the count at 1-1. Runner at second is Chapman, who reached on a single, and then down the second with a fielder's choice.
New catcher into the ball game too, Bill. We have Sandoval, number 30, back there. Isaac Sandoval letting us know here on the screen, so thank you, Isaac.
Knowles paints that one on the outside part of the plate for a strike. 1-2 the count now. Nicholas Cody digs in again. And the 1-2 from Knowles. I don't know that he stopped his swing. The umpire said he did, and so it'll be a ball. But it gets away from the catcher. Down to third base goes Chapman. He thought about trying to come home, but thought better of it. And so we'll have runners at first and third.
That ball got so far away from Sandoval that it almost allowed Chapman to score from second. He was just about 3/4 of the way down the third base line.
Yeah, that's crazy. And so Cody, actually they're going to say that was a foul ball. So is Cody still batting? And that was lifted into center field, actually into third, drifted over. And the third baseman, I said center field, but I meant the third baseman. And so there are 3 out in the inning there. The blue team threatened, Chad. but come up empty. So no runs on 1 hit, no errors, and 1 left on base. We've played 5. Your score remains red team 4, blue team 1.
Again, looking at some of the comments right here. We got folks tuned in from Seattle, Washington. Let's see here, from southern Utah, California, Arizona, Phoenix, Arizona. We're glad to have all of you here with us here in Atlanta, Georgia. Sunny day. Not sure what the weather's like where all of you are today, but here in Atlanta, it is hot, humid, and we're in the mid-90s. Supposed to get up right around 100 degrees later on this week, which I know some of you tuned in are thinking 100, that's it. It was 100 with breakfast this morning. So
yeah,
it's the humidity that kills us here in Atlanta, but we're glad to be here again. We're going to the top of inning number 6. It's 4-1. Red team is on top. And we are breaking out the rosters, changing colors. We got Purcell, Oklahoma in the house. Kendall Cresswell's checked in. Both of our nephews are playing Cash Knowles and Boston Knowles.
Well, Talon Herring now is going to take the mound for the blue team here. And appreciate everybody commenting on here. We are so thrilled to highlight these young men today in the Native American Showcase. And
let's just kind of give you an introduction of who we are real quick. We'll give you a booth shot real quick so you know the guys you're listening to here today. So this is Bill Connolly. So in Middle Georgia and Macon, Georgia, Bill has been doing football, baseball, basketball for a couple of decades now, working with Mercer University and the Macon Mayhem hockey team. My name is Chad Feltman. Same thing in the Middle Georgia, Atlanta, Georgia area. Been doing baseball, football, basketball, softball since 2003, and been here working with the Atlanta Braves the last 2 years. So that kind of was our insight to get in here, and it's been pretty cool to be here. And a big shout out to the guy down on the right down here, Michael Penn, on the camera work today. One of the guys that you don't hear his voice, but I promise you the work has been just incredible. And to my left, another guy you won't see. If it wasn't for him, none of us would be here. Mr. Robert Williamson here with JockJive Sports, setting up all the cameras, all the microphones, everything you see, everything you hear, total team effort. And, of course, our man Sky Gillespie, who was down on the field today. And, I took everybody out to dinner last night and thought we were doing good, but Sky only ate a plate of mac and cheese and French fries. That's all he had. I offered to buy the guy whatever he wanted, and we went to a buffet, and he came back not once but twice with mac and cheese. You think all the great food. And Sky, who's down reporting on the field for us today, we'll give him a chance to defend himself in just a moment, why that was the case for dinner last night. But in all seriousness, we are so glad to be here, honored to be asked by Mike Stopp and the crew, honored to be asked by the Atlanta Braves. We're having a great time, and we hope you are as well. Thanks for tuning in as we go to the top of inning number 6. More Bill Connolly coming your way.
All right, thank you, Chad. And Talon Herring on the mound here has the sign and delivers the first one. It's high, 1-0 the count. And I tell you, our lineup here, Chad, is looking like a mash unit here because with all the changes that we're having to make.
Got Lucas Johan, number 7, at the plate. And he is batting in the number 7 spot where Tristan Cheek started the game.
And that checks. 1-1 the count. I think he went, appealed down the first. I think, yep, it is a 1-2 the count as he was unable to hold up his swing. And so a good job of Herring so far locating his pitches. The 1-2 deliveries, half check swing here.
Lucas Johan again pitch hitting for Tristan Cheek, who was 1 for 2 today. He was able to reach in the second, but then he struck out in the third.
Herring comes set, the 1-2 delivery over but low. 2-2 the count now. 4-1 red team over the blue team. 4 runs on 4 hits for the red team. 1 run on 4 hits for the blue team.
I love the quote here from Johan. It says, mediocre at golf and catches big fish. That was in his bio. That's what he wants you to know about him.
Well, you know what? Being mediocre at golf is what a lot of people are. It is such a difficult sport to master. 3-2 the count here, and just off the plate, and Lucas Johan will scamper down the first base here in the 6th inning. with a walk.
Dakota Jones, number 12, is going to be coming up now. I would imagine a lot of people would settle for mediocre at golf.
Yes.
I'm just guessing. I'm a putt-putt kind of guy.
Talon Herring working from the windup off the plate there. 1-0. Some pitchers, I know especially in the high school, will only work from the stretch. It depends on what they're comfortable with. And Chad, one thing I've noticed, I umpire for varsity for baseball, and there's a lot of controversy here in the state of Georgia a lot of times with pitchers that want to go from the windup, and many of them will have the Spencer Strider look, where Spencer looks like he's locked in on the pitching rubber and doesn't really move much when he comes in. And in the high school, that's a balk.
I thought you were going to go more of the mustache look.
No, not the
mustache look.
No, not the Spencer Strider mustache look. But there's a lot of, and I've noticed as that one's hit over to short, deep in the short, and there's no chance of getting the speedy Jones. And so that'll go down as an infield hit as Jones reaches safely at first. And then that'll bring up number 30.
This is Sandoval. Noah Sandoval.
Noah Sandoval.
It'll be his first plate appearance of the day. Batting in the number 9 hole.
Herring's first pitch to him is inside, 1-0 the count. And he has the stature, kind of looks like a Pablo Sandoval. I wonder if they're any relation.
Out of Canyon View High School in Cedar City, Utah.
Well, he just smoked one down the third baseline like Pablo Sandoval did, so I'm wondering if there's any relation there. That one was over but fouled. Johnny Estrada having to kind of dance around that one as it is whistled foul.
I'll give you a great piece of info on Sandoval after this pitch.
All right. The 1-1 delivery set. But
played for the Rawlings Tigers baseball organization in Salt Lake City for the last 3 years. Averaged over 100 games a year while working 2 jobs and maintaining a 3.95 GPA.
Well, sounds like he's too busy to get in trouble.
That's pretty impressive for Noah Sandoval.
You've got a tip of the cap there to that young man. The 2-1 delivery now to Herring. Runner goes. Throw down to second, and it'll be not in time.
Pablo Sandoval is his uncle, is what Mark Sandoval was telling us here on the YouTube feed. So, yeah, there you go.
Okay.
Pablo spent, I want to say, a season here with the Braves, half a season, right after Truist Park opened in 2017.
It's always good to get the feedback from them. When you sit there and you so appreciate that bit of information as that pitch is high and away. 3-1 to count. Actually, that's ball 4 now. So Sandoval will take the walk.
And now you're going to have number 4, Eric Kieses, coming to the plate. And he will bat in the number 10 hole.
Number 4, Eric Kieses.
He will replace Cash Knowles. Cash had a walk and a strikeout today, batting in the 10 hole. So now Eric Kieses, for the first time, will bat. 1 out, runners on first and second, top of the 6th inning.
First pitch to Kieses inside, almost hit him. 1-0 the count.
You have a fan tuned in, Miss Sherry Cooper from San Antonio, Texas. Do you know a Sherry Cooper from San Antonio, Texas?
I do know.
Apparently that's your sister-in-law?
She is my sister-in-law.
You had a long pause there for a second. Didn't know if you knew who she was or not.
I'm just scared of what she might say.
Oh,
she
it was
does
nice.
A little too much. Yeah, she is nice.
It was a nice comment. Said you're ugly, but it said you sound good.
Well, you know that I got a face for radio. And you and I both been told that,
yes,
Chad.
many, many times.
Runners at first and second here. Keesis awaits the pitch. Hit up the middle, and that's going to find a hole. Runner coming all the way around third, and it'll be a high throw and not in time.
So Dakota Jones, number 12, scores from second. It's going to be an RBI single by Keesis, who will take second on the throw.
Now batting for the red team, number 18.
So that is the third RBI base hit of the ball game today for the red team, who now lead 5-1.
And it looks like number 18 here.
Cashin
Clift, yeah.
So you've got a cash and a cash in. As cash in sends this one out toward right field. Is it deep enough to score a run?
I think it will be. There's a throw, good throw in from the outfield, but a little too deep there. So another RBI for the red team makes it 6-1. Red team now 6 runs on 6 hits.
Number 6, Bass Stice.
So now everybody will officially have an at bat as number 6, Bass Stice, will come back top of the order. Leadoff batter here for the red team.
Boss Stice is what he goes
by Boss, yes.
But his mama didn't name him Boss.
Well, I'm going by what the roster sheet has right here. So, but he is the leadoff batter, top of the order, in the top of the 6th inning.
Herring comes set, delivers inside. 1-1 the count. Runner at third is Clift, but there are 2 out in the inning. The 1-1 delivery. Swung on and missed by Stice. That'll make the count 1-2.
He started the game today in right field.
Fouled at the plate. It'll remain 1-2 the count here from Truist Park. You're looking at Old Glory. Wind blowing in from left field. These kids are having a ball today, enjoying under the lights here at Truist Park. That one's lifted into left field. Back goes the outfielder for the 3rd out, but not before the red team puts another crooked number on the scoreboard there, Chad. 6-1 your score. Red team, 6 runs on 6 hits.
Back-to-back innings, the red team has scored 2 runs. And again, an RBI single by Eric Keesis, an RBI sac fly by Cashin Clift. And again, that was from the bottom of the order, Bill, the number 11 and number 12 batters.
How often do you say that?
I can honestly say I don't think I ever have. Sky Gillespie down on the field right now, walking down the first base line.
Sky, rescue us, man.
What you got, Sky?
Well, first off, let's rewind a little bit, guys, all right?
Oh, here we go.
All right. So, yes, I have pitched with the Macon Bacon. 2 innings, 4 career earned runs. But my last inning, 3 up, 3 down, 1 strikeout. So, there you go. Back to the food. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. Don't take a picky eater to a Chinese restaurant. It just doesn't make sense.
If it ain't broke, don't fix it.
If it ain't chicken nuggets are not broke. That's all I need.
Sky, we had 17 different buffet choices to choose from, and the guy came back, Bill, not once but twice with mac and cheese, and that was it.
Hey, look, man, you don't judge, man. Whatever works for the man, you let him go. Hey, so what's the attitude down there? You're over on the blue side. What's the attitude over there with the blue team right now?
Well, I am standing in front of a lot of them, so I'm a little afraid to say it. But they did enter the game with very high vibes. They were all excited to be here. Now they're, it's just not as high morale right now. So hopefully they're up to bat. They can get the bats going and turn that momentum around and get back going to the excitement that they had when they walked into Truist Park this morning.
Yeah, they still got 4 more at bats to go as we go to the bottom of the 6th inning. How about this for a stat for you guys on our YouTube channel? Kendall Cresswell sending us a message. Number 20, Boston Knowles, okay? Purcell High School football's all-time leading rusher, Boston Knowles. You know who he surpassed? How about Gerald Green? His career rushing mark of 4,341 yards in 1974.
A couple of these kids here have playing multiple sports. We've heard a couple of Devontae, I believe was
Ross,
one. Ross was one that played running back as well.
Well, he played in the All-Star football game.
Yes.
In Minnesota. Yep.
Right,
So.
with the Vikings. So interesting that most of these guys are two-sport athletes, and you talk to a lot of players, specifically Chipper Jones, for one, that talks about this all the time, is of letting kids play multiple sports. He's long been an advocate of that, and he speaks out continuously on that. And I'm certainly a big advocate of that as well. And so now Max – well, hold on, it's Max Williams, but it's
Max Dillon, number 8.
But Max Dillon's is in the spot. So number 3, Talon Herring, is now pitch hitting.
And Talon is going to be
in Max Williams' spot.
In the number 7 spot. So Max versus Max. Or excuse me, it was Max versus Max.
That one was in there for a strike. 0-1 to Herring. The 0-1 delivery. Swung on, hit right out in front of the plate. Catcher's pounced on it and makes a great play on a 2-3 put out. And that right there, my friend, is a fantastic play.
It was Hage Sosi, number 3, who popped up from behind home plate to quickly get to that ball and throw out Talon Herring.
And that'll bring up Josh Meskel for the blue team. He takes that first pitch in there for a strike, and 0-1 the count.
Again, the new pitcher is number 8, Max Dillon, out of Redwood Valley High School in Redwood Falls, Minnesota.
One of the things, Mescal, talking with him before the game, he said growing up on the Navajo reservation, he learned that strength comes from his family. And that's, I tell you what, so many of them have talked about, for them, is they wanted just to thank their family for helping them up until this point. And family's a big thing, is what I walked away with in this Native American showcase, as Mescal goes down on strikes, quickly 2 out in the inning. I'll get back to my thoughts here in just a second. And that'll bring up number 21, Jace Paul.
That's the 5th strikeout today that the red team has been able to record. Don't forget, start of the ball game, 1-2-3, bottom of the first. Isaac Suntakoy, the starting pitcher for the red team today, struck out the side to start the ball game, and now it looks like we're going to have another pitching change.
Yeah, it looks like Johnny Estrada is going to go to his bullpen and bring in number 37. That
is correct. Number 37, Cade Stick, will come in to be the new pitcher for the red team, as we're in the bottom of the 6th inning, I should say. 2 outs, nobody on.
Cade started the game at first base, and now he's going to get a chance to throw.
He's out of Ada High School in Ada, Oklahoma. And let's see if we got some interesting stats and info on number 37, Cade Stick.
Yeah, he's already committed. Cade Stick is going to play Bryant and Stratton College near Virginia Beach. But what you got on him?
Just some of the info we got. His grandfather, one of only 30 fluent Chickasaw language speakers left. Imagine that, 30, and that's it.
Wow.
And his grandfather is one of them.
And I can't pronounce what he calls him in Chickasaw, but it means beast.
Let's see
Imalaha?
going to see if he's going to be a beast on the mound, wearing number 37.
I think that's how it's pronounced. I'll get corrected for that. Mahalaha. At age 3, his grandfather gave him that nickname, and it means beast. So he'll face Jace Paul for his first at bat.
Jace Paul came in and pitched the bottom of the second inning for the blue team earlier today.
His first pitch in there for a strike on the outside part of the plate. So Cade Stick coming in, throwing strikes, and he's ready to go again. From the windup, just off the plate there, evens up the count at 1-1. They're 2 out in the inning. Red team lead it 6-1 if you're just joining us here in the bottom of the 6th. The 1-1 in the dirt, 2-1 to count. Now to Jace Paul.
Jace is batting in the number 9 spot in the order here for the blue team.
The 9 of 12 spots.
Correct. That's right.
We have 12 spots, folks, as we're giving opportunities for so many. Stick wanted that pitch here. Was just off the outside part of the plate. He's been working outside so far in this game. To Paul in this at bat, rather. The 3-1 delivery swung on and missed by Paul. And now we'll have a full count. 3-2 to Jace Paul. Stick work quickly from the windup and delivers. Over but low, and Jace Paul will scamper down the first base with a walk. And that'll bring up number 9, Braden Allen, for the blue team.
Actually, we got a change here. Oh, no, I'm sorry. You're right.
Don't question me.
Where am I at?
Braden Allen, as he takes the first pitch for a ball. 1-0 the count.
I was just making sure you were paying attention.
Were you?
Yeah.
Okay.
You were.
It's rare. Ball gets away from the catcher, Salinas, and down the second base is Paul with the wild pitch. 2-0 the count.
Actually, I can correct you on that one as Hage Sosi behind the plate.
Is it?
Yeah,
Looks like
three
a
looks
one.
like a one with a catcher's
It does. I apologize. That one's lifted into center field. And the shortstop actually is going to go back and get that one, but not before. Well, no, they did not score in that inning here. So we go to the top of the 7th inning. The red team, we'll try to keep you guys honest on who's batting, who's playing, as everything is changing, as we have 2 to 3 full teams on either side. So a lot of substitutions galore here in the 7th inning as the red team will come up to bat. Thanks for joining us alongside Chad Feltman, K13 Media, from Truist Park, the 2025 Native American Showcase.
6 runs on 6 hits, 2 errors here for the red team. 1 run on 4 hits, 1 error for the blue team. For the red team, they scored 2 in the 2nd, 2 in the 5th, and 2 in the 6th. The blue team so far has only been able to score 1 run, and that came in the bottom of the 3rd inning. And that has been it so far for the blue team. If you're just tuned in, again, the red team and their starting pitcher today, Isaac Suntakoy, struck out the side in the bottom of the 1st. The blue team, they had some chances, but have not been able to capitalize on them. But this game could really be a lot worse than what it is, because in the top of the 1st, the red team had bases loaded with nobody out but could not score. In the 2nd inning, they had bases loaded with nobody out. They were able to score 2 in that inning, but could have really blown it open, and they've been able to score 2 in the 5th and 2 in the 6th as we go to the final 3 innings of the ball game. Top of the 7th. My question is Sky singing "Take Me Out to the Ball Game" down on the field in the bottom of the 7th?
Oh, God, I don't think we want that. But on the mound, Aiden Chapman now for the blue team has come in, and he will pitch. And it looks like Jace Paul, who pinch hit, Chad, he's going to go over to third base now for the blue team. Ronald Jones remains at short. Kenyon Wright remains at first. Yet to see who the second baseman is for the blue team. But batting for the red team.
Yep, we got Hage Sosi.
All right, now you got Hage Sosi.
Yeah.
So Chapman to Sosi.
So here comes Chapman's pitch on the way to Sosi, and it's a little low and outside for ball one. Again, number 3, Hage Sosi, will lead things off here in the top of the 7th inning for the red team, who leads the ball game by a score of 6-1. 1-0 missed a little outside, and is 2-0. Hage Sosi comes from a long line of athletes, and he is leading things off right now. And he's ahead in the count 3-0. Top of the 7th inning. First at bat here of the ball game for Sosi. Facing Chapman with a 3-0. And there's a strike. And that'll bring the count to 3 balls and 1 strike. Again, if you're tuned in with us on the YouTube feed today, be sure to drop us a comment. Let us know where you're watching from. 3-1 is going to miss low and outside, and that's going to be ball 4 to Hage Sosi. So he will take first, and leadoff man on for the red team here in the top of inning number 7, as Sosi will take it down to first, and it'll bring up number 5, Nicky Navarro. First time today that Navarro will dig into the box. Wearing number 5 here for the red team today. Again, the oldest of a 4-boy household. And he will dig in. First pitch on the way. Check swing, and it didn't matter. It was a strike on the outside corner. And it's going to bring the count to 0-1 to Nicky Navarro. Again, Navarro wearing number 5. Here's the 0-1 from Chapman. This one lifted out toward right field. Shallow right, and coming in and making the catch. Losing the hat at the same time, but a nice play out there in right field by number 16, Rajon Kenton. Started the game at second base today for the blue team, but now he's in right. And Kenton will put it away for the first down here in the top of inning number 7. So 1 down. And coming to the plate now is going to be number 13, Taden Fine. Left-handed batter, batting with 1 out and runner on first, takes one inside. And there's ball 1 to Taden Fine.
Fine pitched, I think, in the 3rd inning for the red team. Now getting a chance to swing the bat again.
1-0 catches the outside corner, evens the count. And 1 ball and 1 strike. You can hear the construction work going on down to our right here at Truist Park as they're putting in some new seats. 1-1 catches the inside corner, brings the count to a ball and 2 strikes.
Always.
Runner goes, pitch is outside, throw is on time, but it's going to get off the glove of the shortstop. And that will allow Sosi to take second base. Good throw behind the plate by number 13, Kason Threet. Yeah, it was off the glove of the shortstop, and that will allow Sosi to take second base.
Yeah, Sosi had a good jump, but that was made a lot closer by that throw.
So a 2-2 count, runner now at second. And here's the pitch. This one sliced foul, opposite field, down the third base line into the 200 section of the ballpark. That is almost like foul ball alley if you're here at a Braves game. That 200 level between third base and first base, that's the secret spot.
And then the down on the right field line, just in that 200 spot, a lot of balls get peppered in that area. You definitely need to be heads up if you're in those sections.
3-2 count. Chapman ready, the payoff. Runner takes off, pitches downstairs for a ball, and it's going to be a stolen base. As Sosi is going to go from second to third. So that'll put runners on the corners with 1 down. And it'll bring up number 16. This is Jordan Leslie. He'll bat with 1 out, runners on the corners. Here in the top of the 7th inning in a 6-1 ball game. Red team on top here at Truist Park. First pitch on the way to Leslie. Catches the outside corner, and there's a strike. It's 0-1. Again, pitching here is number 15, Aiden Chapman, for the blue team in the top of the 7th inning. Here's the 0-1. This one's hit down the left field line, and it's going to drop in for a base hit. All the way into the corner. Coming in to score is Sosi on his way to second with a head-first dive and an RBI double for the red team. Great piece of hitting there by Jordan Leslie. He was able to jump out in front of that one, send it all the way down the left field line. Sosi scores from second. It's now 7-1. Runners at second and third as Sandoval will dig back into the box. Nice piece of hitting there by Jordan Leslie. Runners on second and third now. One out. First pitch on the way to Sandoval. He up there hacking, but sends it to the backstop for strike one.
Yeah, Noah Sandoval had a good at-bat last time up. See, he ended up with a walk.
He's got runners on second and third. Here's the go 1 to him. In tight. And it's going to bring the count to 1-1. Sandoval at the plate here in the top of the seventh inning. The red team all of a sudden in the last 3 innings have been able to come across the plate. This one outside, off the glove of the catcher. Runner comes from third. Flip to home plate is not in time. And getting in there under the tag is number 13, Taden Fine. So Fine will come in and score another run. It's now 8-1, red team on top. And that's 2 more runs across here in the 7th inning. So now the red team 2 in the 5th, 2 in the 6th, and 2 in the 7th. As you can see, this one just way off the outside corner of the plate, all the way to the backstop.
Still only 1 out in the inning here, and so opportunity for the red team to tack on another run.
Sandoval's at the plate with a 2-1 count. And here comes the pitch from Chapman. That was downstairs a little low, and it's now 3-1.
3-1, yeah. Again, opportunity here. Sandoval could play another run here with only 1 out. And Chad, game could get out of hand.
3-1 is hit off the end of the bat, foul just below us into the Xfinity Club area here at Truist
You got to
Park.
watch the workers there.
Yeah, that almost caught a couple of workers over there replacing those seats. Runs the count full to Noah Sandoval. He's at the plate, 1 down, top of the 7th, 2 more across. Runner at third. Payoff pitch. This one hit out toward left, and it's going to get in for a base hit. Another RBI single for the red team. This time it's number 30, Noah Sandoval, who rips one into left, and he will bring in number 16, Jordan Leslie, for an RBI single to make it 9-1.
Sandoval did a great job of keeping his hands back, and it brought it right back through the.
So it's 9-1. Red team is on top. Sandoval now the base runner at first. And coming here to the plate for the red team is going to be number 18, Cashin Clift.
Yeah, good job by Sandoval keeping his hands inside there, Chad, and just served it right into left field.
That's back-to-back now. Base hits to left and some hard-hit balls. Sandoval with 1. Also, Jordan Leslie had the double. Here's the 2-0. Missed outside, and it's 3-0. Top of the 7th inning. 9-1, red team on top. 3-0 count. Runner at first with 1 out. Aiden Chapman is the pitcher here for the blue team. And here comes the stretch and the pitch. That one is in the dirt. It's going to get to the backstop, but it's going to be ball 4. So Sandoval will make it down to second. And now coming to the plate for the red team is going to be number 19. This is Adrian Garrison. His second time up today. And he will bat here in the top of the 7th with 1 out and runners on first and second. Garrison batting in the number 2 hole here for the red team. Swings and misses at the first one.
Interesting thing about Garrison, he learned the Comanche language in 2 years, and he has made it a point to try to help keep the language alive and not let it be forgotten. So good on him.
Swing and a miss. Snap throw down to first, and there's a pickoff.
Wow.
A little too far off the bag by the red team. And how about the throw behind the plate by Kason Threet as he's able to throw out at first base Cashin Clift, who was a little too far off the bag for out number 2.
Replay of that one here. Perfect textbook throw. Right on the money. First baseman, all he had to do was catch it, and the flag tag was right there. So great play.
Here's the 1-2 pitch. This one missed outside, and it's 2-2. So Clift gets caught leaning after the great throw down to first.
I tell you what,
Kason Threet, the catcher for the blue team.
Coaches at the next level love to see that from a catcher. It's 9-1. You could kind of mail it in and take a play off. You know, that's the danger when it gets to be like 9-1, but not Not with that play. That was a fantastic play.
2 balls, 2 strikes. Adrian Garrison at the plate. Runner at second, 2 outs. Chapman's ready. The 2-2, swing and a miss. And down goes Adrian Garrison for the 3rd out in the inning. Second time today that Garrison has struck out. And that will do it for the red team here in the top of the 7th inning. But 3 more come across. It is now 9-1, red team on top as we go to the bottom of inning number 7. Live today here at Truist Park. It is the 2025 Native American All-Star Showcase.
Well, Chad, I think we got Sky over there on the third baseline with the red team, and Sky's been stinging over on the first base side. But I'm curious now what the mood is like in the red team dugout, but we'll have to get with Sky here in just a second to see what he's got going on down there.
For the red team, 9 runs, 8 hits, 2 errors. For the blue team, 1 run, 4 hits, 1 error. And the red team, again, they have scored 7 of their 9 runs in their last 3 at-bats.
And, Chad, I think we've got Sky ready here for I think he's got a guest with him here.
Does.
Sky, what you got going on down? We don't hear him here, Sky.
See, there he goes.
You got me now?
Yeah, we got you, Sky.
All right, cool. I'm here with the mariachi man himself, Jordan Leslie, who had that big RBI double. Jordan, what's it like playing here at Truist Park?
I mean, it's a big thing, you know. A lot of good Native Americans are out here, and I'm honored that I get to represent my Hopi and Tohono tribe.
Glad to hear, and I mean, it's a toasty day, but you guys are winning. What's it like performing not only for all these fans here, but do you have any messages for anyone watching at home?
Anybody watching at home, I love you guys, and I miss you guys, and thank you for donating me for everything, and I love you guys, and stay safe, guys.
That's Jordan Leslie for you guys.
All right, Sky, thank you very much. I appreciate Jordan Leslie joining us for a few seconds. And Jordan, of course, had that big base hit last inning. Had an RBI double. Able to bring home a run, part of the 3-run 7th inning for the red team as we go to the bottom of inning number 7. Back out to pitch is going to be number 37, Cade Stick.
Yeah, he came in the last inning, Chad, and pitched well, and so now he's getting a 2nd inning of work. And I tell you what, I talked to so many of these young kids before the game, and a lot of them had to raise money for them to come out here. Most of the family could not afford it, and so they had to work and to raise money to come out to have this unique opportunity. So tip of the cap to all the families and friends and supporters of these young men who got to come out for this Native American showcase. And so thank you for supporting these young folks and what they are doing here for this whole weekend. And so I tell you, that's what this is all about, is taking care of family and supporting these young players.
Matthew Wise, number 29, will lead off the bottom of the 7th, and he'll take a first pitch strike here from Cade Stick, who, by the way, is another multi-sport player, offensive lineman. Swing and a miss, makes it 0-2. And for Cade, he's out of Ada High School in Ada, Oklahoma. Athlete of the Year, All-District First-Team Offensive Line. And he is pitching right now in the bottom of the 7th inning. Got an 0-2 count to Wise, and he blows it right by him. And that is strike 3. So 3 pitches, 1 out, as Matthew Wise will go down on strikes. That is the 6th strikeout of the day for red team pitching. And the first out here in the bottom of the 7th inning is number 14, Tayton Threet, will come to the plate. He started the game today out in left, and he was catching a little bit, and he's kind of been all over the place, and that's what it's all about in these all-star showcases. So Threet is at the plate. Nobody on, 1 out. We're in the bottom of the 7th inning, 9-1 red team.
Interesting to see that so many of these players, as that one hit up the chute, third baseman is calling for it.
Easy play over there at third by the red team, number 7, Lucas Johan. Puts it away for the 2nd out. Hey, want to say hello to Victoria Ugaldi, watching today from Dallas, Texas. Cheering on Christian Ugaldi. Jessica Stice is also tuned in on the broadcast today, and Johnny Estrada going to come out and make another pitching change. He has done that now a couple of times today with 2 outs, and I wonder if Johnny Estrada ever thought if he'd be coming out making the call to the bullpen during his days here with the Atlanta Braves. Of course, 2004 All-Star catcher for the Atlanta Braves. And he's down there today with the red team as we get another pitching change. Wakia Raines, number 11, will come on and pitch right now for the red team with 2 outs here in the bottom of inning number 7. And again, he's going to be throwing to the catcher, Hage Sosi, who is behind the plate here in the bottom of the 7th inning. If you're just tuning in, thank you for joining us. We're in the bottom of the 7th, 9-1 red team. Red team got 2 in the 2nd, 2 in the 5th, 2 in the 6th, and 3 in the 7th. Again, they have scored 7 of their 9 runs in their last 3 at-bats. And for the blue team today, just 1 lonely run. That came in the bottom of inning number 3. 9 runs on 8 hits, 2 errors for the red team. 1 run, 4 hits, 1 error for the blue team here today as we are bringing you live coverage of the 2025 Native American All-Star Showcase. First time this has been streamed, and we are certainly proud to be here, part of it. Big thank you to Mike Stopp and the crew for allowing us to be here, and everybody with the Atlanta Braves for the access this week, getting up here, and of course all of our crew for the hard work to be able to bring this to you. We love what we do. We all love the game of baseball, all of us here with the broadcast team today, and we're glad to have you on. So thank you for tuning in. And again, we can read all the comments that are coming in right now, and it is so cool to watch where everybody is coming from. I mean, Dallas, Texas is on here with us. We've got Minnesota, Arizona. And it's crazy, you look down at these comments where people are tuned in from, you never in a million years would think, wow, we really have somebody watching from there. I was doing a college basketball game for a little JUCO college about an hour south of Atlanta earlier this year with viewers from Australia.
Yeah, that's
great. They were nearly a full day ahead.
That's awesome.
It was so fun. So, new pitcher into the ball game again, Wakia Raines, number 11. We've got 2 outs, nobody on in the bottom of the 7th inning, and Raines is ready. His first pitch is in there for a strike on the outside corner.
Eddie Lucero now at bat. Edward, he goes by Eddie. He started the game and now getting moved all around as all of these players are. And it is hard to keep up with it as he started in right field. He fouls that one off, but I tell you, Chad, it's so cool to see this, and we heard from Greg McMichael and all the leadership there of the Native American Showcase. They love the fact that this is being live streamed because it brings a lot of these tribes who've donated for these young men to be here, and lets them see their efforts and donations and support of these young men haven't gone.
Well, it's an experience of a lifetime, too.
Absolutely.
And
they get to be a part of it.
I mean, they've been here again since Thursday. Got to take in a Braves game Thursday night. Been on the field the last couple of days. As Lucero is behind 0-2. This one's downstairs for ball 1. And looking at some of these comments right here, how about this one? Sonoma County, California. Anchorage, Alaska. Isaac Sandoval tuned in, cheering on Noah Sandoval from Anchorage, Alaska today. 1-2 count to Lucero. Raines is ready. Fastball missed outside. And it's 2-2. I read something the other day I thought I'd never, ever believe, but apparently Alaska was under a heat advisory with temperatures in the upper 80s and lower 90s. Isaac, I'm not sure exactly how far you are from that area, but I never thought I'd hear about it being 90 degrees in Alaska. 2-2 is a little high, and now it's 3-2. To Eddie Lucero, who is batting here in the bottom of the 7th inning for the blue team. 9-1 ball game. Nobody on. 2 outs. New pitcher in here is Wakia Raines. He's ready. The wind and the 3-2. Upstairs, ball 4. And Lucero will draw a 2-out walk to keep the inning alive and put a runner down on first for the blue team, and bringing up number 13, Kason Threet.
Well, you're talking to the Native American Council, and they were talking about with this showcase of a continuing expansion into other sports. And we talked about what they've done with football with the Minnesota Vikings, and now this is year 5, looking at year 6 with this. And I tell you what, you gotta, tip of the cap to the Braves for continuing this, and it seems like it's continuing to grow. And now here we are live streaming this, and that looks like this is going to be the something that's becoming very popular, as is getting to see so many folks being a part of this broadcast today.
Grounder to short, routine, throw to first, and plenty of time. And that will retire Kaysen Threet. And it will also retire the blue team here in the bottom of the 7th inning. They get a 2-out walk, but nothing threatening. They'll strand 1. And we go to the top of inning number 8. It is a 9-1 game. Red team on top. And continuing to read your comments here. By the way, Isaac Sandoval says, yes, they've been in the 80s all week, feeling the heat in Anchorage, Alaska. How about Fillmore, California? TJ Salinas and crew. Don Thomas is tuned in. Also, let's see here. We have Rio Grande City in Texas. Shout out to TJ Salinas and the crew. And, guys, this is what it's all about. When Bill and I are doing our broadcast, whether we're doing high school football, college baseball, no matter what we're doing, the interactive part of this, reading the comments, is so much fun because we get to see where everybody's tuned in from, who they're cheering for, and love doing the roll call and getting to read where everybody's watching from here today. So we got another from Arizona. Brooklyn Center, Minnesota is tuned in with us here today. All right, let's go down to Sky. Sky is on the first base side. What do you got, Sky?
You got me now? All right, perfect. All right, so one of the things I've noticed is that the red team and a lot of these guys in general, not just the red team, but we saw with the blue team when they picked off the catcher, the catcher picked off the runner at first. That was a huge thing to see. But with the red team, Paige Sosi, the catcher, backing up the play at first, it was a simple play that you got the runner out by 5 steps, but he's still backing up, so he knows people are watching. He's trying to advance his career, and that's the beauty of these all-star events like this. Just a simple backup like that. You don't necessarily see that in your everyday game, but these guys are trying to do all the little things right here at this level.
Well, it's like one thing Mike said earlier today when he was joining us, out in left field. One of the young men made an error, kicked the ball around, a run came in and scored, but he didn't panic. He didn't get upset. He came in and fired the throw to second and threw out the guy trying to go from first to second. So just the effort is there for all these guys.
No doubt. And that's what you want to see is, they're leaving it all on the line here as we are now on the top of the 8th inning. And I think Lucas Johan is the first.
So Lucas Johan will be leading it off here for the red team at the top of the 8th inning. Red team's on top 9-1. Again, they have scored 7 runs in their last 3 at-bats as Johan takes a big hack but comes up short. On the first pitch here from Colin Davis, number 11, who is in the pitch for the blue team here in the top of inning number 8. Nobody on, nobody out. Here comes the 0-1, and that one's in tight to even the count at 1-1.
Another thing, Chad, that I found interesting from Greg McMichael's comments is not only Julio Franco and Johnny Estrada, but Pete Smith down in the bullpen working with a lot of these pitchers on just fine-tuning a couple of things here and there, working on some warm-up ideas and things that they have taught over the years and trying to pass that on to some of these young kids. And so that's a great thing. And you talk to the coaches that coach in the Native American community, for them it was an evaluation of what they do and picking up techniques. So it's not just the players learning, the coaches as well.
3-1 from Colin Davis is in there for a strike on Johan, and it runs the count full at 3-2. Now the payoff, and there's ball 4. Well, one thing that you may not know, and a lot of people may not know about Greg McMichael. Yes, a lot of people know Greg, part of the 95 World Series team here with the Braves, but Greg does so much work with the Braves organization today with all the Braves alumni. Every time there's an Alumni Sunday event here at Truist Park, Greg puts it together. Alumni Weekend in August every year. Greg is in charge of that. But another thing Greg works with is a program called Building the Game, as the first pitch is in here for a strike from Davis. So Building the Game is a program that Greg McMichael and the Braves put together a couple of years ago where they have basically created their own, I don't want to call it Little League because it's not Little League Foundation, but it's like Little League, where Greg and the team has put together this program with 6 states around the Atlanta area and basically formed their own recreation division.
Eric Keesis took that one on the hip there, Chad, so another hit by pitch. But, yeah, we'll finish your comment here. Florentino Salinas now due up for the red team. But, yeah, finish your comment there about what the Braves are.
Well, they're going to be coming in this coming Friday because they're getting ready for the Braves Country Baseball and Softball World Series.
Right.
So you're going to have teams from all 6 of those states around what they call Braves Country that'll be in this area this coming week. And Friday night, they'll all be out here recognized in a pregame ceremony. So Greg's got a lot going on for him. And to have the support from the alumni like Julio Franco, like Pete Smith, like Johnny Estrada to come back and do stuff like this, I mean, it just speaks volumes on the crew and being able to put on events like this. Pitch is low and outside, and that's going to bring the count to 2 balls and a strike. Runners on first and second. As Florentino Salinas is in the box, facing Colin Davis. Here's the 2-1 upstairs, and it's going to bring the count to 3-1. We're at the top of the 8th inning. Red team on top 9-1. They've got runners on first and second. Nobody out. Florentino Salinas at the plate. 2-1, straight away center. Now coming in and backing up, making the catch is going to be the second baseman. That ball was out towards center, and the wind pushed it back toward the infield. And a heck of a play by number 16, Rajon Kenton for the blue team. And that'll retire Salinas for the first out of the inning.
Yeah, Kenton started the game at second, moved to right field, and now he's back at second again. So, and he made a good play there. Chad, one thing is interesting is 9-1, but the red team has left 13 men on bases in addition to the 9 runs. So it's certainly been.
Well, it could have got away very early.
Yes.
Well, they had bases loaded, nobody out in the first inning, and didn't score a run. As Cash and Clift will now dig in. Runners on first and second. Here comes the 1-0. And that one missed outside, and the count's now 2-0. Again, Colin Davis is the pitcher, number 11, here for the blue team. His first inning of work here today. Out of Crowder High School in Oklahoma. 2-0, and that one will float in for a strike, and it brings the count to 2-1. Colin Davis won the state championship in trap shooting. How about that?
That's interesting.
2-1 is downstairs, and it's 3-1. Trap shooting. 3-1 count. Runners on first and second. Top of the 8th inning, red team on top. And here's the pitch. And there's a strike to run the count full at 3-2. Colin Davis, number 11, on the mound and working very quickly out of the stretch. Don't blame him. It's a hot day. Payoff pitch, 3-2. Here it comes. Swing and a miss. And Davis will record the strikeout for the second out of the inning. First strikeout by Davis. And down goes Cash and Cliff, number 18. And it'll bring up number 8, Max Dillon.
Yeah, Max Dillon here. And looking for his comments, and he didn't have any for us.
No, a big N-A. right there beside it. So,
but for baseball with his...
He's out of...
Yeah, there we go. He's at a Redwood Valley High School out of Redwood Falls, Minnesota, out of the Lower Sioux Tribe. He plays center field for his home team. But, Chad, he was the MVP and on the honor roll. I love seeing the academic achievements with the guys who have the good athletic achievements as well. And so he may not have a whole lot to say, but he's a leader in his own right as he's the MVP of his high school team, plus being on the honor roll.
Well, he's at the plate now with a 2-1 count. Runners on first and second, 2 outs. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss. Man, he got a piece of that one. I think he did. Fouled it back to the backstop. Okay, he just did get a piece of it, even the count at 2-2. How about this? Colin, the pitcher, just struck out his cousin, Cashin. There's some family bragging rights.
Oh, yeah. That
2-2 on the way. Lifted weakly right behind the bag at second and making the catch for out number 3 behind the bag at second base. Blue team will do it. And the red team leaves a few more stranded. That is now 15 runners stranded today behind the red team. But they have a commanding 9-1 lead as we get ready to go to the bottom of inning number 8. Let's see if we can get a few more comments here from our YouTube channel right here. How about Brian Raymond tuned in today from McKinney, Texas.
Oh, wow.
Coached in the football game back in January that we were talking about earlier. So
Right.
hoping that gets to happen once again. And one of the players actually playing today, I believe it was Devontae Ross, the left fielder. Mike Stopp was telling us actually played in that football game. So, Brian, thank you for tuning in. And, Mike Stopp, great guy, Native American Athletic Foundation, putting on this event here today. 5th year. And we're glad to be a part of it. Hopefully we get an invite, get to come back next year. I can promise you one thing. Next year I'm coming back with a lot more scorebooks.
Yeah,
we're going to come back loaded.
We've certainly learned our lesson that this is not a normal game in terms of keeping up with the scorebooks. And
but it's been fun, man.
Oh,
it has been a blast to be here today. And like I said, these guys have been here since Thursday. And I remember, Bill, that now this was a long time ago. As we welcome you back inside the broadcast booth real quick, we'll share a few memories here as number 11, Wakia Raines, is warming up on the mound. I remember, and you're old as I am, so you'll remember this, but if you know anything about the Atlanta area, before State Farm Arena was built, there was a building called the Omni.
Absolutely.
In downtown Atlanta. And I'll never forget, man, I think I was 10 or 11 years old. We got to play our rec ball basketball team on the same floor that Dominique Wilkins.
Right.
And all those guys, Dikembe Mutombo, when we were kids. So that was at the Omni. I couldn't imagine what it's like playing down here on this field at Truist Park, where, again, in about 25 days, the greatest baseball players in the world will be here for the All-Star game. That was a cool moment for me when I was a kid.
No doubt. And I have Braves moments that go back, and you and I talked of some of our Braves moments. Mine go back to in the mid-'70s when I got to meet a catcher and that was playing in minor league baseball by the name of Dale Murphy.
I've heard of that name before.
Yeah, once or twice, but I tell you, it's so cool to see what the Braves are doing, not only now, but supporting the Native American All-Star Showcase. And I tell you what, I can't tip my cap enough to the Braves for opening up Truist Field to these 50 players and for them to be highlighted and showcased here and in front of their family. And many of their family sacrifice a lot to allow these kids to come up here, as that one's fisted off into right field in a good play. I believe that was by number 29 I was seeing in the last.
That was today's starting pitcher.
Yes.
That was the starting pitcher who's now at first base.
Sonacoy.
Isaac, who made that catch. Avon Goodland, number 12, was the batter. And he popped it up in foul territory, and Sonacoy made an incredible catch over there in Matt Olson territory in front of the Braves dugout.
Well, and Johnny Estrada is going to the bullpen yet again with one out.
We may have a record for the most pitchers ever in a game. There's 24 players on each roster. We're getting very close to having everybody pitch.
And I'm wondering if that's one of the requirements with these guys. You got to pitch, because most players in high school play multiple positions.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, number 5, Nicky Navarro, is getting ready to come on and pitch right now.
I'll tell you another little thing most people don't know is Chipper Jones came up as a shortstop, but in high school he pitched, and I got to pitch against him.
What did you do? Did you give up a home run?
Well, I did.
Yeah,
but that's.
Trust me, you're not the only one to do that.
Right, right. I mean, yeah. So he ended up being a Hall of Famer, but he play also. He talking about advocates of. As so many of these players play multiple sports, he played football, and he's been a big advocate of kids not staying in one sport.
Right.
And so he pitched, played shortstop, and then obviously took off on his career, and he found his spot in third base until a guy named Terry Pendleton came up, and then he ended up playing in the outfield a little bit. So playing multiple positions is right up old Chipper's alley for what he would like to see here in this game.
Well, not just multiple positions, but multiple sports.
Correct.
Reading the bio on a lot of these players here, I mean, how many have we called out football players here today?
No doubt.
And it's not just necessarily your sports like football, baseball, basketball. We've had several athletes on here who have excelled in other things. Trap shooting, for one. I mean, a state champion in trap shooting is pretty cool. So all these young men out here today are very talented. They're here for a reason. They're great ball players. They're on a spotlight here today. And again, getting ready to come in and be on the spotlight now is number 5, Nicky Navarro. We're in the top of the 8th inning. Bottom of the 8th inning, beg your pardon. Bottom of the 8th inning. It's 9-1 red team. We've got one out, nobody on. And Navarro is getting ready to take over on the mound. And have we missed anything on Navarro?
Well, on Navarro, he comes from the Round Valley Yuki tribe, and he's out of California. He was the Rookie of the Year of his JV team. And he is also, again, this is one of the things that makes me already proud of him, is he's on the academic team at his high school. He's a senior, plays first and third, among others. And so that's another thing I love highlighting about these young men who are warriors in the classroom, not just on the field.
All right, number 17, Ronald Jones III is going to be digging in. And if I'm not mistaken, Ronald Jones III, the only player on the team from Georgia.
Yeah, Arabia Mountain.
Yeah, which is just down the road from us. So local product here.
Out of the Cherokee tribe.
Congratulations to Ronald for making the program. He will bat in the bottom of the 8th, one out, nobody on. Facing Navarro. First pitch on the way is a little high and outside, and that's ball 1. So again, Ronald Jones III, I believe, started at shortstop today. He did for the blue team, but like everybody else, he has been around. The only thing a lot of these guys have not done today is come up here and broadcast an inning.
Well, don't let them do that, because I mean, you and I can't
the
go
only
down.
Position they haven't been.
Well, because you and I can't go down there and switch positions with them. Our days of playing are long behind us, my friend.
Long behind us. 2-0 count here to Jones. He bat with nobody on. Bottom of the 8th inning, 9-1. Blue team looking for a huge rally to get back in this one. 2-1, fisted off to the backstop by Jones. Now to bring the count to 2 balls and 1 strike is number 38, Canyon Wright, is in the on-deck circle. He started the game today at first base for the blue team. 2-1 count to Ronald Jones III, facing Nicky Navarro in the bottom of the 8th. Navarro out of the stretch. He'll kick and deliver. Fastball in for a strike. And it evens the count at 2 balls and 2 strikes. How cool is it just to be one of these guys pitching on the same mound just the other day? Grant Holmes struck out 15. Spencer Strider struck out 13. Chris Sale won the Cy Young Award last year. 2-2 count. Navarro with a deep breath. And the pitch to Jones, and he threw it behind him. And Jones did a good job ducking down to get out of the way of that one. And it'll run the count full at 3 balls and 2 strikes. Big shout out to all the parents who are here with the players, too. The parents and all the family, they're in the shade. I promise you that.
Oh, yeah.
They are very smart down below us in the shade. But they've been out here, I mean, since the gates first opened today. They were out here yesterday for walkthroughs and BP.
Well, and from what I understand, a lot of grandmas, grandpas, aunts, uncles, and other folks within the tribes who've donated to help these guys get to this point. So thanks to all of them for helping out as well. And, it's a team effort. And now Canyon Wright's doing up, and we got some stuff on him now.
Okay.
So Canyon's from Grace Christian Alexander. He's part of the Choctaw tribe. He's a senior, and he was all-state, all-district, all-region, all 4 years.
All everything.
Yes.
So he will dig in right now. 1 out, runner at first. That's Jones. First pitch on the way is a bit off the plate, and it's 1-0. Elijah Beck, number 18, who started the day behind the plate for the blue team, is in the on-deck circle. And he's still got those shin guards on, so looking like he'll be getting ready to go back behind the plate in the 9th. Navarro with the 1-0. Swing and a miss. Good pitch there by Nicky. And it evens the count at 1 ball and 1 strike. To Canyon Wright, number 38. Runner at first is Ronald Jones III. 1 out in the bottom of inning number 8 here at Truist Park on a sun-drenched Sunday afternoon in Atlanta. Navarro's ready. The 1-1 fouled back to the screen, and it's 1-2. Braves will be back here this coming Friday. Going to start a 9-game homestand just before the All-Star break. We'll be back Friday night to take on the Philadelphia Phillies.
You're going to be busy the next week or
sir.
so.
Oh, man, 9 home games and then the All-Star break. I will be a very, very busy person, but not complaining.
No.
I mean, I'll be working at a ball field. 1-2 from Navarro. Runner goes. Pitch is swung on and fouled off.
That might have got his foot. Yeah, it looks like he caught a little piece of the That's smart, Chad. I tell you.
Jones took off, had a good jump, was easily going to take second, but the hit and run was on. And it looked like Canyon Wright just did get a piece of it, then it got a piece of him. So we'll come back and do it again. A ball and 2 strikes. Good shot there of right on the screen. Man, it's a good-looking view. Big thank you to Robert Williamson and the guys from JockJive Sports producing our broadcast today. Here's the 1-2. Just missed, and it's now 2-2. Michael Penn working on the camera for us today, bringing you all the great views. Sky Gillespie down on the field with our interviews and our stats and notes here today.
Something tells me Sky's got another interview ready for us.
He's got something ready, I promise.
Yeah, there's no doubt.
2-2, Navarro brings it. This one is absolutely smashed into left field, but right at the left fielder who makes the catch. And now Jones has got to hustle back to first, and he'll get back just in time before he gets doubled up. Right, absolutely smacked that one out to left.
Yeah, quality at bat there, and there's nothing you can do about it when that kind of happens. So Elijah Beck, who's been behind the plate, Chad, one of the things that's interesting about him, he's won the academic all-conference, and I believe, is he the one that came up and he had a surgery, an ACL injury? I believe he's the one that had, he was telling me.
Well, the pitch to him just went behind his back, and that allowed Robert Jones III to make it down to second base. So now a runner in scoring position here for the catcher, Elijah Beck, with Ty Freeman, number 20, standing in the on-deck circle for the blue team.
He catches and plays outfield. He was academic all-conference, part of the Cherokee tribe.
1-0 count. Elijah Beck at the plate with 2 down in the bottom of the 8th.
Yeah, and here 7 months ago, he had an ACL injury. He came off an ACL injury only 7 months ago, and he's back still playing now, Chad.
7 months.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
And he's behind the plate.
Where you absolutely are up and down using your knee probably more than any other position, all the other 8 positions combined.
Yeah, no doubt.
2-0 count to him, runner at second. Navarro brings it, and there's a strike, caught the outside corner. Some heat on that one. Navarro reared back and brought everything he had on that fastball. And now he's got a 2-1 count against Elijah Beck. Here in the bottom of the 8th, runner at second is Jones. Navarro with a couple of deep breaths. Here's the pitch. Fouled off at the plate, and it's 2-2. Navarro's last 2 fastballs. Boy, he has absolutely just reared back and brought everything he's got those last 2 pitches. And now he's got the count even at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Elijah Beck at the plate. Ty Freeman on deck. Robert Jones III, the base runner at second with 2 outs. Here in the bottom of the 8th inning, blue team down 9-1.
Yeah, running out of opportunities, Chad. They, here with 2 outs here in the inning.
2-2, missed outside off the glove of the catcher, and that's going to let Jones make it down to third with no throw. Just off the glove of Sosi behind the plate. And Jones, who had a good secondary lead, able to take third with no throw. Again, the only run of the ball game for the blue team came in the bottom of the 3rd inning. They got an RBI single, and that's been it. Now they got another runner at third with 2 outs and a full count. And that will put Navarro, thought he was going to go back to the windup, but he decided to go to the stretch. He'll check Jones at third. Another deep breath, then the payoff pitch. He came high and tight, and he just about hit Elijah Beck. And that's going to be a 2-out walk, and it's going to put runners on the corners now for number 20, Ty Freeman. So Freeman will get a chance here with an RBI opportunity. There was another guy by the name of Freeman who was a left-handed batter who played here many years, who put some balls out there in that chop house. Well, I sure do miss him at this place.
Yeah, Ty Freeman, part of the Choctaw tribe. And we ask him for something interesting about him. He goes, I'm a lefty.
That's it. And he's at the plate. Runner's on the corners. Runner takes off from first. Strike is the call. Runner will take the bag down at second. No throw.
Now 2 runners in scoring position now for the blue team. But there are 2 out in the inning. And it's getting late.
0-1 to Freeman is a little high, and that's going to even the count at 1-1. So Ty Freeman is in the box here for the blue team. In the on-deck circle is Max Williams. And they are facing Nicky Navarro. And now Freeman will call time and step out of the box. Fillmore, California is in the house. Jessica Stye says it would actually be hilarious if one of them came up here to announce. We got a headset. We've got an extra chair, and we've got great air conditioning, Jessica, just so you know. Here's the 1-1. This one's sliced foul down the left field line, out of play for strike 2. I mean, we were earlier able to get Jordan Leslie on the broadcast when Sky did an interview down the third base line after he had an RBI double. So technically, we have had a player on the broadcast. But 1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Bottom of the 8th, runners on second and third. Big opportunity here for the blue team. And Ty Freeman. Navarro's ready. The stretch and the 1-2. Just missed inside corner. You can hear the red team in the dugout from all the way up here.
Oh, yeah, the chirping. Woo-hoo. They wanted that one.
Well, and you got to give credit to Sosi. He did a great job framing it, just did not get the call. So now a 2-2 count. Navarro with the 2-2. High and outside. There's ball 3.
Well, I can tell you, as a high school umpire, I was like, we need to be kind to the umpire. All right, we don't need to heckle the umpire here, even though it's not the call you wanted. And I find that funny that I was notoriously.
That's coming from an umpire, by the way, everybody.
Yeah, I know. I used to be horrible as a coach and a player of getting on umpires, and now here I am as an umpire helping out. It's I'm getting a taste of my own medicine, Chad.
Well, this is a big moment for Freeman. He's got runners at second and third.
It is.
A base hit would probably score 2. 3-2, here it is. And there's ball 4. The blue team has been able to load the bases here with 2 outs in the bottom of the 8th inning. So,
now batting for the blue team, number 8, Max Williams.
And are we going to call that the game? Or hold on, we've got a celebration. Well, they're going to say that's ball game. Well, all right, here's the deal. They said we may have innings that are only 4 outs. They said we were going to bat 12 batters. They said be ready for the unexpected. So
is this the unexpected?
7 2/3 is the unexpected. But congratulations to the red team here today. Your final score is red team 9, blue team 1. For the red team, 9 runs on 8 hits, 2 errors. For the blue team, 1 run, 4 hits, and 1 error. The red team left 15 men on base. The blue team left 7 stranded. Red team with 2 in the 2nd, 2 in the 5th, 2 in the 6th, and 3 in the 7th. For the blue team, just 1 run in the bottom of the 3rd. And, man, you were thinking, what if this could be the comeback? Bases loaded with 2 outs and
possibly
ball game.
Yeah.
So I don't know. It's all good. Hey, 2 hours in, it's a hot day here in Atlanta. Everybody's been able to bat. Everybody's been able to play the field. And
again,
I think you and I are the only
showcase.
2 that haven't pitched today. So.
Right, yeah. Well, and this is a showcase. This is about highlighting the kids the whole day, and that's what this is about. It's not really about the wins or the loss.
That's right.
With this, it's about bringing, giving them the opportunity to play on a big stage. And I thank the Atlanta Braves for that, and thank these teams for coming out here. But again, I said this before, I'll say it again. Thank you to the parents, the uncles, aunts, the schools, the communities, the tribes that have donated to help these kids to get to this spot right here. I know they're so appreciative, and they asked me to continue to thank them all for their donations and their way to help them get to this week. This has been a life-changing event for many of these kids, and something that will never leave them. And,
they will remember this the rest of their life. There's no doubt.
And if you donated to this and you help one of these kids to get here, do it again next year, because you will not I can't express to you how much this means to these kids.
Well, and not just
how much
that.
of a difference it makes for them.
For all the parents, and by the way, a good look there on the field right there, the guys meeting down in left field. We'll bring you back inside the broadcast booth real quick as we get ready to wrap up our broadcast. And, for all the parents, too, who are back watching the live stream, first of all, thank you. Yes, thank you all for the comments. Thank you for tuning in. It's been a blast for all of us to be here and be able to bring you this ball game. But thank you for investing in these kids. And when they get back home, don't stop. They're here for a reason. This is an all-star showcase. They've got great talent, but not just in baseball, just in life.
No
so
doubt.
thank you all for tuning in. Thank you for supporting all these guys down here. Thank you to the coaches, everybody who put this event on. And hopefully, if all of you are really nice to Mike Stopp, he'll invite us to come back and do it again next year.
Yeah, tell him you want Bill and Chad back, because we certainly have had a lot of fun with this, and for us, this is such a cool thing to do, to be a part of with the Atlanta Braves and the Native American All-Star Showcase and highlighting these kids. And it has been an absolute pleasure to get to know that. And Chad, why don't you show your hat?
I was going to do this in the ninth inning. Yeah, I was going to do it in the ninth inning. So last week we had our EBCI night here at Truist Park, the Eastern Band of Cherokee Indians.
Right.
They were here with us. We had a huge display, pregame ceremony, and they gave me one of these hats right here. I collect Braves hats. I have like over 100 different Braves hats, and I saw this one. And they were kind enough to let me bring it. I was going to wear it in the ninth inning, but we didn't get to make the ninth inning. But just a really cool, different kind of Braves hat.
And I think
designed.
they told you what that means, right?
It means ball player. So just a really cool design. Honor to have something like this. But thank you to the Eastern Band of Cherokee Indians for the great gift. And I was getting to the ninth, but we only made it to the eighth. So great gesture, cool hat, and pretty cool to have up here today. But I think that's going to do it. So thank you all for tuning in. It has been a blast. And again, thank you to the Atlanta Braves for putting on something like this to showcase these players and these coaches. There's a reason why this is Braves country, and Braves country stretches all over the country. So thank you to everybody, to Greg McMichael and his team, Doug Lucitra, who has helped us all week for the logistics and getting in here. And I cannot thank my staff enough. Sky Gillespie down on the field with our sideline reporting. You can barely see him over here, Mr. Michael Penn, who has been with me for the past 4 years with football, basketball, and here today on the camera work. The main man in the house today, Robert Williamson, JockJive Sports. That's the channel you're watching it here on YouTube. Robert is from South Alabama, and he is all over the Southeast with college sports, high school sports, and puts on one heck of a professional production. Our camera work here today, everything. Robert, without him, we had nothing. We just sit up here and talk in the air conditioning. I mean, we're not very talented. We don't do much. We just sit up here and yak in the AC, and we get to have the fun. But for Bill Connolly, I'm Chad Feltman. This is K13 Media. Thank you all for tuning in, and once again, we hope you enjoyed the 2025 Native American Showcase here from Truist Park, where once again the red team comes away victorious with a final score of 9-1. So long, everyone.